really gorgeous cats and dogs and whales. I'll show you those in a sec. At 9 o'clock, we are joined by Joe Carter for a brand new toy. We've got the terrific turtle, who is so cute. You're going to love him at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock is tools and gadgets. So we've got a whole range of different things to help with pressing and ironing and sewing, and just to make your work a little bit easier. And at 11 o'clock, Joe is back for Sew with Joe. And the purses return. We've got them back. We're doing bags and purses with our lovely different frames and Joe's fantastic instructions to accompany those as well. So we love to hear from you here at Sewing Quarter. If you want to email us, you can drop us an email, studio@sewingquarter.com. Look at these fancy new graphics, producer Paul. We're loving those. Aren't they nice? He's liking a compliment upstairs. We've got some nice new, shiny new graphics on the screen there. So yeah, we do love to hear from you. I love receiving your pictures. If we don't get a chance to even show them all on the show, I always look at them afterwards. So please do send them in. You can email us, like we just showed, studio@sewingquarter.com, or you can head to the website. So if you go to the main web page, and then if you click on the watch icon, which is at the top there, you'll see a live feed of today's show, and just underneath there is a message the studio box. So you can drop us a message, say hello if you've got any questions for Joe, if you've got any requests, if you want to see some of the fabric again, just let me know. That comes straight through to producer Paul upstairs, and then I can read those out on the show, and we can answer any queries you might have. So let's get cracking with today's show. So as I said, we've got brand new fabrics from John Lowden today. So I'm going to head over and show you those. Let's have a look. So first of all, we've got a solids bundle to team with some of these brand new fabrics. So these are 5 spectrum solids, all put together in one bundle for you with complementary colours. So this is a lovely blue one. So we're going for sort of an ocean theme here. And you get 1/2 metre of each of these 5 fabrics, so 2.5 metres in total. So let's just have a look at these different colours that you've got. So you've got really gorgeous sort of dark navy blue there. That's your navy. Then you've got your dark blue, so again a nice sort of rich tone to that one. Then you've got ocean, a slightly softer blue. You've got cornflower blue. And, oh, I think I've said those in the wrong order. This is cornflower blue, this is your pale blue, and then you've got your navy here. So this is a really dark one. Then you've got that nice sort of almost a grey blue there. So that's the ocean solid bundle. As I said, 2.5 metres in all of that, so 1/2 metre of each of those cuts. Perfect to add to your stash if you want them for backing or binding, or to team with some of those designer fabrics that have obviously got a bit of a blue theme running through them. So this goes perfectly with the John Louden whales I'm about to show you. So TRGC24 is your item number for that one, and that's $15.95. So John Louden, we promised you brand new fabrics from this hour. This is a premiere. We've never had them on the show before. We were all swooning over them in the office this morning when we saw them. And so John Louden is a really sort of well-known designer. You find him in a lot of the big famous department stores, and also the company's been running since 1926, so going back a long way. This is the 3rd generation of the family now who are running the business. They're based in Leeds. They've got some gorgeous different prints. They're all about introducing new designs and also distributing different fabrics. But the ones we've got this morning are, well, I'll stop talking and I'll just show you one so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know what to start with. Well, I'm going to go for my favourite. I'm going to go for a dog's. So, yellow dogs. These are my favourite ones. We've got lovely little Westies on here today. My best friend's got a gorgeous little Westie called Tommy. She is so... Oh, what's not to love about a little Westie? So these are such great value, $3.55 per 1/2 metre. So these are cut to measure. You can have as much or as little as you want. These are 100% cotton. So this is on ochre. So it's a really lovely, sort of a golden yellow there with all your little Westies on it. Perfect for those, if you want to make a little treat for perhaps your pet. So that's the first one. I'm going to whiz through these first of all, just so you can get an idea of what different ones we've got. Then I'll go back through in more detail. So that's your ochre. Then, let's go for the pink. So another Westie one, but on a really lovely dusty pink this time. So let's open this out so you can see this. So these are cut to measure. This is a metre of fabric, so this would be 2 units. It's sold in half-metre increments, so 1 unit is half a metre. But this is your pink there. Same design, but just on a different colour background. So you can see those Westies all sort of different directions there. Producer Paul likes that one. So that's your pink. Let's fold that back up. We don't want to get in a muddle before we've even started. Let's try and stay organised. That's your yellow and your pink. Then next up, shall we go for a cat one? Let's go for a cat. So I've got 2 cats, 2 lovely little cats. Alfie, this one here is on a sort of a taupe colour. But what's nice about these cats here are not filled in. It's all just done with lines. So you can see here you've got these almost like a, do you know what that reminds me of? A bit like a heartbeat monitor, but with cats. So you've got all different sort of feline friends there in this one. And this is on beige, but it's definitely sort of more of a taupe colour. £3.55 again for that one. We've got another cat one, which is a different colour combination. We've got producer Paul meowing in my ear. Send me pictures of your cats and dogs. I love to see them. Maybe send them in with a little picture of something you've made. A picture of your dog on a quilt or your cat on a cat bed that you've made. That would be great. So this is another colour combination in your cats here. So this is a slate grey with a really sort of bright electric yellow there. So really lovely if you want to inject a little bit more colour. So again, it's that cotton print, it's the outline of the cats all along your lines there. And £3.55 again per half metre for that one. Then next up, we're going to go back to some dogs, so some other different colour options. We've got the pink and the yellow. Then we've also got a really smart sort of navy blue here. We were saying this would be perfect for you could see John Scott wearing a shirt made out of this one. It's quite a masculine sort of colour combination, but it's really sort of gorgeous print there. Pyjamas, that's a good idea. Producer Paul suggesting pyjamas. I think that's a good shout. So that's your sort of nice solid blue in the background there, and again with your little cream Westies. £3.55 again. And one more dog, and this one is in olive. So let's grab this one. This is lovely. It's quite a sophisticated colour, I think. This olive, really lovely neutral. You could team this would work really well with maybe some canvas fabrics. You could introduce those natural colours, but that olive background there, almost like a very soft khaki green. Again, £3.55 per half metre. I've got producer Paul in my ear who's making dog noises, and now he's saying, sit, sit. The fabric's staying nice and still. It doesn't need training. It doesn't need to go to dog classes. It's telling me to sit. I can't sit. We're standing. So we've got 4 different colour options. We've got olive and blue, pink and ochre, and then your 2 cat options there as well from John Lowden. So we've also got, other than our cats and dogs, we've got some other, we've got some whale prints as well, so 3 different options. These are perfect for bathroom accessories. So let's start with, these are a slightly wider fabric. So these are 150 centimetres in width, these ones. So again, I think some of these would be perfect for maybe a bathroom blinds or a laundry bag or a wash bag. And as I said, 3 different colour options. I'm going to start with the grey. Again, this is 100% cotton. Let's open this up a little bit. Oh, we've got lots of fabric here. You can see that sort of wider fabric. But as you can see, really sort of bold blues in your navies, and you've got some softer powder blues and some turquoises coming through in that one as well. So this is on grey. Again, just £3.55 per half metre. Then another colourway for that. So these would work really well if you wanted to combine them. You know, if you wanted to pick and mix these and mix and match them, you could work these together. Let's go for the navy one next. So this is a slightly darker background, but also introducing some sort of soft browns and black as well in some of these wells. So it is a darker colour palette. Sort of almost a bit more like a night theme. But if I just show you those two together, you can see that they do work. Those wales there, just picking out some of those similar colour combinations in your wales. So that one there is your navy, again, £3.55 per half metre. And then finally, we've got a really lovely soft blue background. So this is a much fresher look. Again, would be really lovely if you want to keep a bathroom. I think it's nice to keep bathrooms sort of nice and light and bright, and this is perfect for that. Let's have a look. So as you can see, that lovely soft blue in the background, and then you've got those brights again in your wale detail there. Be really lovely for children as well, that one. I think that's a little bit more playful. Again, 100% cotton. HMJQ95 for that one. So these are brand new, all of these John Louden fabrics. There are 9 Premier fabrics in this hour this morning. Your whales, your dogs and your cats, all different colour options, so something to suit everybody. And we've also got some really lovely project ideas for some of these fabrics in some books we've got later in this hour. But I'll come back and show you those in a sec. Now I'm going to show you some bling. We've got some really lovely leather look fabrics that we've also never had on the show before, so we're going a bit crazy on the Premier fabrics this morning after our sale. And we've got gold and silver. These are perfect for bags. I'm a bit of a bag fiend. I love a bag. And so you've got two different colour options, really beautiful and shiny in a lovely way if you wanted to add a professional handle to that, a great way to, to have something that you could take with you to the beach or just out with you generally. So let's start with, let's go for the gold. So if I just hold this up to start with, you can just see, look at that shimmer. It's got a really rich feel to it, where you've got that lovely gold glint. Really sort of catches the light there. It's a great way to just inject a bit of interest to an outfit, really. I mean, obviously you're not limited to just using it for bags. For me, it really does sort of scream bag. And this is 50% viscose, 50% sort of that pew leather. So it's got a leather feel to it. Obviously it's waterproof, it's water resistant. And you can just see here on the background, you've got that soft sort of lining to it there. So perfect for the inside of a bag. And then you've got that lovely gold on the top. What was the width of this one? So this is 140 centimetres, the width of that. And again, sold by the half metre in half metre increments. But you can just see there, it really is sort of a rich, shiny fabric. Just injecting a really lovely way to inject some interest. I think particularly gold is lovely for a beach bag. If you've got a nice summery outfit on. I think bags, if you've got neutral colours with, maybe your creams or golds and silvers, they go with any outfit, don't they? You can throw that on with any dress or something that you might have. Again, toiletry bags as well, makeup bags, it's perfect fabric for that. Because again, it's water resistant, so if you've got any spillages of makeup or, moisturiser, foundation, those sorts of things, they're going to wipe straight off. So that's your gold one, $6.25. Then we've also got, keeping it rich today, we've got a silver option. So let's have a look at this one. Lovely. Look at that one. Again, a nice shiny fabric. That reminds me like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. So again, you can just see that sort of glint to it there. Again, these would work really well together, actually, the silver and the gold. But you can just see that 50% viscose, 50% that pew leather. Again, it's got a really soft feel to it. It's just catching that light there. You can just see the texture as well with that. So $6.25 per half metre of that. Again, brand new on the show today, VCJQ12 for that one. Now, if you're slightly concerned about working with those fabrics, obviously they're a little bit thicker. We've got some needles. If you're concerned about what needle you would use, we've got some leather needles that are perfect for to put in your machine that will work really well with these fabrics. So I'll just grab those to show you. So these are from Prim. You're getting 5 needles in here, 280, 290 and 100 needle. So they've got, you can just see here, they've got a slightly bigger eye. and they will go really easily through that leather look fabric. So it's a thicker needle, making, you know, sort of taking the any concern about breaking a needle on your machine. Obviously, you wouldn't want to use a regular needle for that fabric. And these are only £2.95. ERPH 54 for that one. They've got that flat shank there as well, so just where you've got that bigger eye and then the slightly bigger needle. Perfect. So those are to go with those leather look fabrics, which are brand new today. And then we've got all these gorgeous John Louden ones as well. So which one is most popular at the moment? The cats. The cats are the same in the lead at the moment. Okay. So we're leaning towards feline rather than canine at the moment. So let's have a look at those cats. It's really lovely, I think, if you've got sort of cat and dog fabric and you have got pets. You know, you can obviously make things for them, whether that's a cat or dog bed, or I saw a really lovely carry case actually on Pinterest that you can pop over a you know, if you're taking your animal to the vet, you could use a fabric like this. It's a really lovely way to just pop it over the case if you don't want it to be too exposed. And again, you could odor coat this and you could make a mat to put different bowls on, or, you know, the feeding bowls and water bowls. So 2 different cat options. The beige was in the lead, so let's look at that one to start with. Let's open that out. Let's look at these cats properly. Let's give them a little walk out. Here we go. So this is your cat outlines on a beige background. So keeping it nice, neutral colour palette. So it's not going to clash with anything. If you want to keep, you know, your if it's for something around the house, a doorstop or something like that, in a kitchen or a utility room, these colours are going to go with anything. They're just sort of a nice, calm, relaxing colour. So you've got that taupe in the background and your cream detail in the cats there. Again, 100% cotton. There it is. Where's that? Oh, he's got a little heart. Look at that. Nice curly tail. Sitting on a shelf. My friend was telling me about these. I don't know if anybody's heard of them or if anyone's ever been to one. But a cat cafe. So you basically go and you go to the cat cafe and you can have, you know, you can order food as you would anywhere, whether, you know, food and drink and tea and coffee. And they have, the cafe is filled with cats. So perhaps if you can't have a cat, if someone you live with is allergic or you just love cats, there's literally cats everywhere. They have, they're all sort of running around different frames on the walls and around the tables, and you can just go and pet a cat while you have a cup of tea and cake. So I mean, if anyone's ever been to one, let me know what they're like. I'm not sure whether it would be not intimidating, but I don't know if I'd want to be in a room with 20 cats. I'm not sure. I don't know if it would be a bit creepy. Maybe not. I don't know. If anyone's ever been to one, let me know what it's like. I know that there was one in Edinburgh that my friend went to, and it just sounded like quite a wacky new idea. But yeah, so cat fabric today. This is your cats on beige, again with that outline. Apparently there's a mouse in here, producer Paul's saying. Where's the mouse? Here? Is this a mouse? Let's see. I don't think that is a mouse. Here. Is that a mouse? Maybe it's... He's going to zoom... They're having a debate about whether it's a mouse or not. They're going to zoom in and check if it's a mouse. It could... It's got a curly tail. It might be a mouse. Just to wind the cat... Yeah, yeah, maybe that is a mouse. CVJQ57 is your item number for that one. £3.55 per half metre. Again, 100% cotton from John Louden. So you have got cats and mice in that. Producer Paul was right. You can have a brownie point. Okay. So our next colour option for the cats is the grey and yellow. So this is much brighter. It's a really electric yellow. It's a bit more of a dramatic colour combo here. But it's a slate grey, so again, nice and smart. A bit of a masculine feel, actually, I would say, to this one with these colours. But with those cat outlines again, let's find our mouse friend. There he is. It's almost a neon yellow. It's very bright. Really, really lovely. Should we name a cat? What can we call a cat? I feel like Fluffy is quite a cliche cat name, isn't it? Bob the cat. Is there a film called Bob the cat? I think there is. My cat's called Alfie. You can just see that one there. Producer Paul says we should call one Jonathan. Jonathan the cat. I don't know. I want to see some pictures of your cats. Please send them in. Go to the website or send them into studio@sewingquilter.com. Maybe combine it with the little sewing project that you've done. Put them both in the same picture. JNJQ16 is your item number for that. John Scott's got 2 cats. I'm being Nellie and Norman. That's cute. That's really cute, actually. He's on holiday, I believe. He's jetted off somewhere. He's in Gibraltar. Very nice. So this one here, $3.55 again per half metre for your grey and yellow. JNJQ16 for that one. You could combine these again. If I just pop those together, if you wanted to, maybe do something reversible, or you could have something, you know, in the lining of a bag and something else on the outside. You've got those 2 different colour combinations there. Obviously, your cat outlines would be the same on both. Oh yes, look, that's lined up spot on. Perfect. So, what's next in the lead after our cats? It's the gold and silver. We've got some rich taste this morning. Great, good sewing. Great, I'm pleased you have. Lovely. So this isn't made, I'm being told to tell you, this isn't made of actual gold, and it's not leather. It's 50% viscose, 50% PU leather. So it does have a leather feel to it. It is really soft, really sort of pliable, actually. It'd be nice and easy to work with. It'd make a really lovely soft bag. I'll clearly keep talking about bags because I'm obsessed. I'm going to start with the gold, as that's my favourite. So let's have a look at this. You can just see that there, just how it catches. Let me give it a bit of a wave so you can see. What do you use this for? You could actually make a skirt out of this. It's quite like a summery, not a rah-rah skirt, but like what's the name of like a shorter skirt would be nice. So this is it in gold. Again, that lovely shimmer, that lovely glint there, just catching the light. I know we've just had Christmas in July, but this would be also great for Christmas. VNJQ47 is your item number for this one. Let's just have a look so you can see that texture. Do you know, actually, you could make a cushion out of these. If obviously, if you have a leather sofa, or if you don't, if you've got a plain sofa and you want to inject a bit of interest, particularly the gold, I think would make a really lovely cushion. I'm a fan of the gold. I do really like this one. I'll just show you the back of that as well once you've looked at this. Look at that. So you can really see that sort of leather effect. First time, this is brand new today. And that background there of the fabric is just it's a really sort of soft. If you were going to use it, that would make, would be perfect for a lining. Remember as well, it's 1 postage and packaging per day here at Sewing Quarters. So if you add something to your basket in this hour, and then later on you decide you love the turtles, which I know you will, that Joe Carter is doing at 9 o'clock, you can add that to your basket and you won't be charged 2 lots of P&P. It's capped at midnight. So you can check out as many times as you want, add things throughout the morning or throughout the day, and you'll only be charged once. Also, all of these fabrics are cut to measure, so if you've not bought from Sewing Quarter before, join the club, come on in. These are cut off the bolt for you, so they're cut in half-metre increments, so you could order as much or as little as you want. So if you wanted 3 metres of fabric, that would be 6 units. If you wanted 2 metres of fabric, that would be 4 units. And this will be, it would come as one big cut piece of fabric. It wouldn't be, cut into small half meters. It's only when the fabric's bundled and it's pre-cut that they will always be in just half-meter strips. These are as much or as little as you want. So that's the gold. Which one's most popular, gold or silver? Gold. Gold is most popular at the moment. Let's have a look at the silver too. So again, a really lovely sheen to that. Let's just lift that up so you can see. It just gives a different look to a lot of the fabrics we have on the show, and a different feel as well. And just see that there, that lovely shine. So there's a nice, it really just catches the light there. let's look at those two next to each other as well. So this is your silver, VCJQ12 is your item number for that one. But if you wanted to combine them, perhaps if you were going to do cushions and you wanted to do silver and gold, you could certainly do that. Or if you wanted to have a reversible cushion or a reversible bag is what I was actually thinking. So you could have silver on the inside, gold on the outside, and flip it in and out depending on what you're wearing. So you can just see there that they do work really well together as well. You really can see that sort of leather look, particularly in the gold. I think that looks really expensive. And it's only $6.25. So this is your silver one here. VCJQ12 for that silver one. Gorgeous. Very different to anything that I've actually seen or had on my shows previously. I think, well, they know I love bags. So now I get things that you can use for bags. Okay, that's our gold and silver, which is the next most popular, which in our fabric, right, Wales. We're going for Wales. So I always think these lend themselves, really do lend themselves to bathrooms. But again, they're great for children, great for perhaps a little boy's room or a little girl. Obviously, Wales are unisex. But you could use these for wash bags, toiletry bags, laundry bags, bathroom blinds. These are a slightly wider fabric as well. So let's start with the navy. This is the most popular at the moment. Brand new today. Never seen these ones before. So this is a darker sort of family of Wales. So you've got some sort of soft browns and some blacks coming into this. And also you've got your powder blue and a brighter blue as well. Little splashes of aqua or turquoise picked out in some of this wave detail. And also sort of on the fin there. I'm being read facts about Wales. So a group of whales is called a pod. I did actually know that. Or a school. Or a dam. GAM. I didn't know that one. I knew pod and school. I didn't know GAM. We're educating everyone this morning, although you might have all already known that, just me that didn't know it's called a GAM of Wales. So yes, you've got those gorgeous whales there, all different colour options. And also you've got some sort of detail in these triangles where you've got some texture as well, so it's almost like a dappled effect. And I don't know if we can look at that actually a bit closer. Is it possible to see? Because you could fussy cut sort of sections of this, but you can just see here some nice detail on the triangles. There's almost like an Aztec pattern in that. And then you've got that sort of dappled look to this one here. QAJQ48, that's in navy, and $3.55, so really fantastic value for that one. So that's your navy. Oh, we've had a message. Let's have a look. Morning, Selena. This is a message from Selena. Went to the cat cafe in Germany. 20 cats over 3 floors of the building. The cats came to you. Wow, that's so cool. So these are really a thing. I didn't make it up. So the cats they're obviously all over the place, and you can just sit and I guess obviously they come to you as and when maybe you entice them over with whatever you're eating. I don't know. But thanks for messaging in, Selena. That's really cool. So if they're in Germany, I wonder if they must have some in London, I would imagine, as well, if they've got them in, that was in Germany. There must be some in London. So the grey whales next. Let's look at this one. Imagine if there was a whale cafe. That would be cool. Might be a whale boat. Let's be realistic. So this is your grey one here. So you've got, again, your different colour combinations with your whales, but keeping it to that blue theme. And that lovely soft grey in the background. This is definitely a cleaner, fresher sort of colour palette in this one. These are 100% cotton, nice and soft. Again, with that sort of dappled effect on a sort of a taupey colour there. CEJQ56 is for your whales on blue. This is on the grey background. And which is next in the lead? Oh, dogs on blue. Perfect. So this was the one that I felt was quite will be perfect if you're looking for a fabric for a masculine project. I think this would be really lovely. Producer Paul won't let it go. He really wants a pair of pyjamas made out of this fabric. I can see that though. I really can see it. So you've got that lovely. It's a. How would I describe it? Like a kingfisher blue, actually. This background with your Westies here. So some lovely little doggies there. Really cute. That's really lovely. Has anyone got a Westie? Send me in a picture of your Westie. I'll always look at them even if we can't show them on the show. So we've also got a bundle to go with these fabrics. These work really well with the Wales and would work with the blue dogs. So this is a blue solids bundle. I'm running out of room on my table. So you're getting 5 different colour options in this, 1/2 metre of 5 different fabrics, so 2.5 metres in total. Really well, I would work really well with our Wales here. Let's just move this one over. Just good like this, you can see. So our 5 different colours in here, you've got a really dark navy, almost nearing a black actually, in that one there. So 1/2 metre of that one. This is your Oceans solid bundle. Can we see that one there? So that's your navy. Then you've got your dark blue, which must be this one here. You've got Ocean, which is this one. You've got Cornflower blue. And your pale blue, which is a really soft, almost leaning towards a grey. But you can just see there how they work really well. Look at that cornflower blue with that whale there. Absolutely perfect. If I just move that up so you can, let's do it with this whale here. You can just see there, it's spot on the match. And also with this here, your other blues, just matching in, teaming really beautifully. Great to have in your stash, but also to team with these new John Lowden fabrics this morning. TRGC 24, and you're getting 2.5 metres of fabric for $15.95, so it's good value as well. So, let's have a look at my favourite dogs, which is the dogs on ochre, the yellow one. Let's just move these over. So that's our dogs on blue. That would make a really smart toiletry bag, I think, for this one. If you could odor coat it as well so it would be waterproof, that would be perfect. Or again, like I was saying, it would be really lovely to do, you know, mats to put your dog and cat bowls on there. You could pop them again if you odor coated it, but you could use this for a plastic bag carrier, perhaps in the kitchen. If you've got a utility room and that's where the dog lives, where the dog bed is. Or obviously, dog beds or carry cases are perfect for these prints. So that's your blue. Let's look at the ochre, my favourite one. Oh, we've had a picture sent in from Beverly. Morning, Beverly. Thank you for that. Let's have a look. This is a cat called Bonnie. Let's see. Ah, morning, Bonnie. Oh, look at those perfect cushions in the background as well with all that lovely haberdashery detail. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. Thank you so much, Bonnie. See, it genuinely makes me really happy. I love hearing from you all. Keeping me company here this morning. I wonder if he likes the sewing machine. Some cats are a bit scared. It can be quite noisy, can't they? He's not keen. So this is our dogs on ochre. So it's a really lovely, sort of a golden yellow colour. Nice and bright and cheerful. Again, with that Westie detail there from John Lowden. With those cream dogs. Just see that there. Almost a little bit cartoony. But because they're nice and small as well, from a distance, it's only when you look closely that you can really see that detail. BPJQ92, that's your ochre. That would work really well with the navy. Let's look at those together, actually. All of these work really well together because obviously it's the same print, just in different colour backgrounds. So your blue and ochre there if you wanted to go for something nice and bright. But also the olive would work well with this. I'll show you that one in a second. Really lovely for a children's bedroom. Perhaps if you wanted to do, to cover a bin or a lampshade or for cushions. If you've got a little dog lover in the family. Let's just show you the olive with that as well. So your olive is on the bottom of your screens there. Let's just bring that in with the ochre. You can just see that colour there. I tell you what, I've got to look at that with the gold and silver in a second. I think that will be really lovely. And your other colour option is pink. So there are 4 colourways in this one this morning. This is a nice dusty pink. This one will be coming up on the bottom of your screens. There it is there, VHJQ42. So this is your pink here. All of these colours working well together. I think the olive and the pink work well as a pair. Also your olive and yellow here. But as a 4, I mean, if you wanted to combine all of these and do something, do a patchwork, or a quilt. Be really lovely. All of these are £3.55 per half metre. Let me just show you that with the gold. I think, look at that. Oh, yes, we're onto something here. I love it when a plan comes together. Look at the gold with the olive and the yellow, particularly, really works well. You can just see that, you know, where you've got that nice rich sheen from the that pew leather, that leather look, leather texture fabric, combined with that cotton. So you could do a bag in this, and then you could have a different lining, something a bit more interesting peeping through there. Or with your yellow. Let me just lift this one up so you can see. That gold there just working really well with the yellow, or ochre as it's named. So this is your gold, VNJQ47. You need to get this one now. This is brand new today. This is a premiere. This is really popular. It looks like it could sell out. So this is a brand new one on the show. If you do like it, you're thinking you might want to do a project with it, add it to your basket, check it out. You'll only be charged one lot of P&P anyway. So if you want to add something later, you can. £6.25. So look at this. I can't leave my display. I'm quite happy with my display this morning. So I can leave this here. I'm going to head over to the other side and look at a couple of books. So you've got some project ideas for these new fabrics this morning. Let's have a look at those over here. So we have got two different books this morning. I'm going to look first of all at Home Sewn Home by Sally Walton. So this, Sally Walton was she was the first person that sort of brought in those carry bags, that, you know, the reusable ones that you use for the supermarket. So very much about ethical sort of things that you can reuse, upcycling, things that are going to have a bit of longevity and durability, so they stand the test of time. This is a really, really lovely book. You've got 20 projects in here. And what's really nice as well is you have this wallet at the back that's just filled with all of your patterns. You can keep those all in one place. And you can see it's a really lovely thick book, loads of different projects, which I've marked out to show you some of these. So there's a retro feel, sort of a vintage feel to some of these projects. And even through to how the book is put together, you can see that they're sort of with your colours. And, oh, look at that old-fashioned bear. So the book, I'll just show you this contents page here, is broken down into rooms. So you've got the living room, kitchen and utility, bedroom, bathroom, and then also all of this section on supplies and techniques and different things you can do. So, you know, working with patterns, finishing seams, gatherings, fastenings, talking you through those methods. In terms of projects themselves, I thought this would be perfect for those new canine fabrics we've got this morning from John Lowden. If you wanted to do a doorstop with a little dog there too, those fabrics would be perfect for that. So at the beginning, you've got beautiful photography showing you sort of an insight into what you can make. Then once you get through that, you get into these chapters broken down into rooms of the house. So if I just move forward, you can see those oven gloves there. Some ones that I picked out. This was the plastic bag keeper I was talking about earlier. That's, you know, if you've got a utility room, particularly those new cat and dog fabrics, I think would work really well for that. I know we don't use plastic bags as much anymore, but I still do have a bit of a stash of them at home. You do still need them, unfortunately. So then you've got really thorough instructions, step-by-step colour photography, sort of guiding you through all of those steps, a comprehensive guide to the whole process there. The book's really beautifully put together. Then you move into the bedroom section. So lots of different projects for the bedroom. The bit I was really interested in this morning is the bathroom, because I think this really, you know, lends itself to those brand new whale fabrics that we've got in this morning. So this was the wash bag. So it would work really well with any of those three whales, and you could combine it with that ocean solid bundle as well if you wanted to line it in a different colour. You know, with a bit of a nautical feel, obviously that with your school or pod or gam, as I learnt this morning, of Wales. Again, all that step-by-step instructions. Also a laundry bag there. Perfect if you want to, you know, hang it on the back of the bathroom door, hang it on a hook in the bathroom. Again, with those nautical whale fabrics would work well for that. But lots of different projects ideas in here, lots of different inspiration. A great coffee table book, great as a present for someone if you wanted to, you know, give them some inspiration, or if they've got perhaps a birthday coming up. That's cool. Hairstyling bag for rollers. Oh, I always have hair stuff all over the place. That would be a great way to keep it all together. And at the back, as I said, you've got all of that information on a sort of methods. So trimmings and eyelets, talking you through all of these different processes. Piping, sewing terms and terminology, different blogs that are of interest. And again, all those patterns in the back there in that useful wallet at the back. WJMZ74, $14.95. You've got 20 projects in there, so that's, oh, I can't work out doing the maths that quickly, but it's less than £1 a project, so lots of inspiration. Now, your other book option in this out, 75p a project. My maths wasn't quite quick enough. Producer Paul beat me to it. So this book here is a quilting book. So lots of different gift and, well, general ideas, bag ideas for quilting projects. So rather than if you don't want to tackle a big quilt or you just want to incorporate those skills into a different project, there are 36 different projects in this one to make and give. So this one by Akimi, I don't want to pronounce it wrong, Shibata. Let's open this here so you can have a look at some of these different projects. So this book actually starts by talking you through different techniques. I have to say, the diagrams in this book are annotated more clearly than any of the books I've really seen here before. They're really very thorough, very well explained. Like, look at this. If you look at, for example, so this one here is a hexagon flower tote, so incorporating those patchwork skills into a bag. But if you just look at this detail, it shows you all of the layout. It shows you a patchwork diagram. It's showing you, you know, how to line everything up, all of your measurements. It really is very thorough, very detailed. Some of the projects I picked out to show you in here, I'm obsessed with it. I've got to post it. I have to put post-it notes in so I know exactly how to find them. So obviously I've chosen a bag. So this one here is a swivel hook tote. So I really love the shape of this. If you can just see that there, it just it pins across. So it starts like this. So your front and back are obviously this more of a bucket bag shape. But then you can clip it across to give it more of a triangular top. Also keeping everything inside a bit more secure, perhaps if you're travelling, if you're on the tube. Oh my goodness, and it's got an A on it. I need this bag. This is one for me. It might just be that the author's name also starts with an A, but that's a sign. That was one for me. I think that's a really cool shape of a bag there. Again, you've got all of those thorough diagrams, your construction steps talking you through. But lots of different bags in this one. You've got a bowling bag there. What's this one called? A tote. You've got a tote. What else did I mark in? A little basket and a mat. Let's find that next project that I'd marked. I forget which ones I did. Where is it? Oh, the zip pouch. So this was your hexagons, but I really liked this as a toiletry bag option, and would be lovely again with that whale fabric if you wanted to quilt with that. And one last one I picked out here was, I thought this was really lovely. It's an applique sewing box, so perfect for your workroom. And if you can just see here, I don't know if we can go in any closer, how lovely this is, but it's got all applique detail on the top. It's got a really rustic feel to it, I think, because of those fabrics that have been used there. But this is really gorgeous, with all different pockets inside for storing your different bits and pieces in that caddy. KXSP50, $12.95 for that one. Quilted bags and gifts. And there's loads more in there that I didn't even get to show you, but again, a really lovely book. So, should we head back over and look at these fabrics? Okay, so first of all, you've got that fabric bundle you can see on your screens there. That's to pair with those whale fabrics or the dogs on blue. So there are 5 different blues in that bundle. You've got a navy, a dark blue, a sky blue, a soft blue, and a cornflower blue. TRGC 24, and that's $15.95. Oh, and I'm being told the most popular fabric of all of these launches this morning, dogs on blue. So the solids bundle would work well with that. Let's look at dogs on blue. This is the one that producer Paul wants a pair of pyjamas made out of. So let's see. So you've got this lovely sort of royal blue in the background there, and you've got that westy detail. If you've just tuned in, these are brand new fabrics this morning from John Lowden. We've got 4 colour options in this lovely dog fabric. Shall I open this out? Let's have a look. Let's go crazy and waft the fabric. Let's give it a wave. So this here is a metre of fabric. So this would be 2 units. How wide was this one? Do we know? Just finding out. 110 centimetres wide this one is. So that's sort of your standard size there. But you can just see that dog detail, really good. Just my eyes peeping over the top on that nice sort of rich blue background. This is the most popular at the moment. There it is. You could even have a matching dressing gown, producer Paul. You could have pyjamas and a dressing gown. So really lovely, a really lovely fabric there. And only £3.55 per half metre. I think that's great value. So you've got 4 different colour options in that. Which is the next in the lead? Cats. Oh, Cats on Beige is next in the lead. We're going to be led by the race. I'll show you them in the order of popularity. If you've bought this morning, we'll probably get a list of who's bought it, actually. But if you've bought this, what projects have you got in mind for it? Let me know. Cats on Beige. Let's have a look at that one. Too many fabrics. So this one here is a lovely neutral one. Would work really well with some to pair with some canvas, or if you want to keep that neutral, those neutral colours, then this is perfect for that. It's a taupe background, sort of a really, really soft brown actually, with a cream outline of your cats there, and the mouse, as producer Paul rightly pointed out. 100% cotton. Now, we've never seen this on the show before. We've only got this in 2 colourways. So we've got this option, which is in your beige. Again, £3.55 per half metre. If you want to go a bit brighter, if you want something, you know, to catch your eye a bit more, this one here, it's got almost a neon yellow. It's a really bright electric yellow coming through here in this cat detail. I said this morning, this reminds me of a heart monitor. This is like beep, 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 and all the cats going across there. Well, if your heart wanted to look like that, you probably should be at the doctor's. So you've got a slate grey background there on that one, combined with your yellow. JNJQ16 is your item number for that one. Oh, Rachel sent in a picture as well. Morning, Rachel. Thank you for sending that in. Let's have a look. Is this another cat? It's Winston the cat. Let's see Winston. Here he comes. Oh! That's brilliant. Oh my goodness. What is that on the top? Is that the spool holder on the top? That's brilliant. Winston, you get top marks for that. I don't recommend cats probably doing too much sewing at the machine, but that's brilliant. What a great picture. Thank you, Rachel. That's fantastic. I love it. So 2 different cat fabrics for that one there. You've got your grey and your beige. Now, we also had some brand new leather fabrics, leather texture fabrics, leather look. I must emphasise they're not leather, in gold and silver. And we had some needles to use with those this morning. So if you've already bought those and you're thinking perhaps you, obviously you can't use your generic needles. These ones here are slightly thicker. You've got 2 80s, 2 90s and 1 100 needle there. A slightly bigger eye, so easier to thread, and that flat shank at the top to go into your machine or for hand sewing. Only £2.95, but perfect to go with these. You can just add this to your order. If you're buying this fabric this morning, you can just combine. Obviously, you can pop this in your basket if you want. This is the most popular, actually, this gold one. Let's look at this gold. This one is, I tell you what, of all of the fabrics this morning, all of these launches, this one is, even though it's plain, it's not plain. This one is actually my favourite. I think there's so many, gold is very versatile, and also the fabric itself just lends itself to loads of different projects, particularly your bags. Good old bags. So this gold one is the most popular at the moment. It's 50% viscose, 50% pew leather, so it has a leather look. It's water resistant. So that's, you can just see there with that shine that that would just slip straight off. Make a lovely beach bag. Nothing to stop you dressmaking with this if perhaps you wanted to make a skirt. But it's got a really sort of rich look to it. And obviously the colours go with anything. I think gold and silver pretty much go with anything. So let's look at, so VNJQ47 is your item number for that one. But you've also got a silver option. So perhaps if you want to go reversible, let's have a look at the silver. Oh, remember to check out your baskets on these. Don't miss out. These are really, really popular this morning, as we thought they might be, because they're brand new. We've never had them on before. Obviously, the stock will now be limited. So if you've got that in your basket, just make sure you check it out. So we're already down to less than half the stock on some of these products already this morning. So, and they've only just been on. So this is our silver one here. Again, you can just see that lovely sheen to it. If you look really closely, you can see it has that leather texture. Nice and soft. And again, you can just see that that would be water resistant. And obviously thicker than your cottons. Lovely, look at those gold and silver together. Very classy morning here at Sewing Quarter today. Your gold and silver working really well together. Silver VCJQ12 for this one here. And let's look at the Wales on grey, which would work really well with the silver, actually. Let's pick it out from my... I'm creating a bit of a mess here, my stash of fabric. We've got a new floor manager in this morning, Adam, who's doing a fantastic job. Everything was beautifully lined up, ironed, ready to go. Love it. So this is our grey Wales here, which works beautifully with the silver, actually, if you wanted to combine the two. But let's just look at that. You could do a wash bag, actually, with the silver on the outside. Obviously, it's water resistant. And then you could have your Wales peeping through on the inside. Let's just move that so you can see. Shall I move it up a bit? Lovely. This one here, brand new. This is your cotton print Wales on grey. So the Wales are obviously all different blues there. I love this powder blue. But these fabrics really lending themselves for sort of bathroom projects with that water theme. Only £3.55 per half metre. CEJQ56. Is that the most popular of the Wales at the moment? Of the Wales, this is the most popular at the moment, this one here. But let's look at the light blue. Where's that? Oh, it's over this side. Let's do a bit of a da-da-da-da-da. Light blue ones here. So again, you could combine these, all of these. I think reversible is such a great thing. Like, why do we not make everything reversible? You get two things made out of one. So this is your light blue here, Wales, again with your similar whale colours to the grey fabric. A nice fresh feel to this. Would go really well with that ocean bundle. I'll just show you that here. Let's just lift that over. So your ocean bundle, you've got 5 different blues in that. You've got a nice dark navy, a cornflower blue, a dark blue, a pale blue and a royal blue. All the blues. Testing me on my blues this morning. But you can just see that they do work really well with those whale fabrics, obviously picking it out in the detail of the whales. So this one here is your light blue, which is the main graphic on your screen at the moment. HMJQ95, £3.55 per half metre of this one here. Gorgeous. So, next up, let's move away from Wales. We'll go from water to land. We're going to go to dogs. Let's look at the pink dogs. So we're going for a dusty pink now. Producer Paul thinks this is the best one. Is this your favourite one? Yeah, this is his favourite one. Dusty pink. He's wearing pink too today. No, absolutely nothing wrong with pink. So this is a really lovely soft pink. It has got a nice feminine feel to this one. Now they're laughing at me because he said he liked the pink the most. Really cute little dogs there, nice and playful. VHJQ42, £3.55. Some of them are just upside down, having a lovely time. They can go wherever they like. They're well-trained little dogs. Ralph the dog, that's what they want to call him upstairs. That's a good name for a little dog. I tell you what, I love the picture of that cat that Rachel sent in. Honestly, that's really made me laugh. Winston the cat with the sewing machine. That's just brilliant. So this one here, again, is a brand new fabric this morning. VHJQ42 is your dogs on pink. Now, you've also got this in a couple of different colour options. So we looked at the blue. The blue is the most popular fabric. But let's also look at the olive. This nice olive green here. So this one here is a nice, it's soft green, A really smart colour combination there. CIJQ41. It's a nice sort of subtle colour palette. And it does work really well with the pink, if I can just bring that in there, if you wanted to combine them. Now remember to check out your baskets on these. These are brand new. You need to get them today. We don't want you to miss out. So these are Premier fabrics. They're launches from John Louden. We haven't had them on the show before. We've had, if you've just tuned in, good morning. Lovely to have you with us this morning. We've got these whale fabrics from John Louden, 3 of those. We've got 2 cat options and 4 dogs. And we've also had those leather look fabrics in gold and silver. Now, next up, Jo Carter's here. We've got a brand new toy. We've got turtles this morning. Really, you're going to love these. They're super cute, perfect for little girls and little boys, or for adults. Why not? So don't go anywhere. Jo Carter and I will be here in 3 minutes. See you soon.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @sewingquarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air.
Talented toy maker Jo Carter is back to introduce a brand new character. From felines to feathered friends, over the past few months, Jo has sewn a mini menagerie here at the Sewing Quarter studio. And she shows no signs of stopping with a new venture into the reptile kingdom. That's right! Coming to a rock pool near you is this adorable turtle soft toy featuring a pretty patchwork shell and a cheerful smile. And with Jo's guidance and a ready-made kit, it's surprisingly easy to create your own. As well as this, you'll also receive a free copy of Simply Sewing magazine with every kit. So, make sure you don't miss out on this fantastic offer by joining us on Thursday the 27th of July at 9 AM for a lesson in how to make these terrific turtles. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
So we're going to show you how to do a backstitch. Now a backstitch is a great one to use when you haven't got a sewing machine available, but you need to repair or fix a garment. And the backstitch is a really strong stitch to do that with. First of all, you need to start with the wrong side of the fabric first. So I'm just going to place my needle through to bring it through to the front. And then you're going to go backwards. So I'm going to do quite big stitches here so you can see what I'm doing. So that's the first stitch. Now this time you're going to come and bring your needle through, but the same distance as your stitch. And then you're going to go into the first hole that you came out and then go back through to the back. And then I'm going to come all the way over again, the same distance, and then through again, and just keep repeating that process. So this is my final stitch now. So as you can see, there's my row of back stitches, and if I just turn that over for a second, you can see that it's almost as if it's double stitched along the back. So you can see it's a really secure stitch to do when you haven't got a sewing machine to hand.
Terrific turtles. We've got him with us this morning. I don't know why I've called him a boy, but he is really cute. This is what we're doing in this hour with Jo Carter. So if you've just tuned in, thanks, lovely to see you here with us this morning. And we are making this gorgeous, terrific turtle in this hour. Look at that. How cute is that? I just think that's gorgeous. Really lovely. Having a little swim this morning. So we've got this is in a kit form this morning. We expect this is going to go super quick, as Jo's toys always do, because they're just Well, they're just fantastic. They speak for themselves. Look at this. So this is actually taken, the pattern's taken from Simply Sewing magazine that Jo did all of the pattern and design for. So we've got, this is in a kit option this morning. There are 3 different colourways depending on what colour turtle you want to make. So, oh, I don't want to put, he's such a nice shape to hold. You just want to keep him in your hand. So the first colour option is the one that you can see here. This is the Sunshine bundle. So you're getting 1.5 meters of fabric in total, so 3 half-metre cuts. So you get 0.5 metre of that linear texture pumpkin, 0.5 metre of spot-on sunshine, and 0.5 metre of fern. Then you've also got your thread, you've got your stranded cotton, your stuffing, and the magazine, which is free. So this Simply Sewing magazine, this is part of the Immediate Media family. So this is in our family. Here is Sewing Quarter here. So there's lots of different projects in here, not just the turtle. And you also get 2 patterns in with this. So this is all thrown in as part of that bundle. Lots of inspiration, lots of project ideas, but talking you through the turtle this morning. So that's the Sunshine one. I'm going to whiz through these so we can get cracking with the turtle. Next up is our nice ocean bundle. So this is more of a blue theme. If you want to go for a traditional ocean turtle. So you've got 0.5 metre of your peacock, 0.5 metre of foliage green, and 0.5 metre of spot-on aqua. Then you've also got your thread, your stranded cotton, your stuffing, and again, the magazine with all your instructions in there. And your last one, if you want to go for a girly turtle, this one here is more of a pink theme, again with a little bit of green, but you've got that cross-hatched linear texture fabric in your pink. This one's called Little Miss Turtle, so we're going for a girly one. So you've got your spot-on pink there. Again, you've got your green. And you've got, so that's your green grass and your spot-on candy. 18.45. So all of those bundles are the same price. You've got enough fabric in there to make at least 3 turtles. So, you know, you're not just getting one of these little friends, you get a family of them for that price. And you've also got your magazine with other patterns in there too. So while we're here, we've also got, because we anticipate these are going to sell out really quickly this morning, we wanted to bring you something else as well. We've got these gorgeous cat door stops. So you can fill these with, well, Jo was saying with dishwasher salt works really well. And you've got a kit there for that, 2 different colour options. That's your pink one. So you get all your instructions in that with your stuffing and 1 metre of fabric. And then you've also got a different colour option, which is your lovely sort of golden yellow there, more of a natural colour palette with your cream and gold. So let's get cracking with our turtle. Morning, Jo. Morning. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited for this morning, our little turtle friend. Ready to go. So how easy was this to make?
It's not too difficult. I would say the only difficult bit in it really is this part of the shell, just because it's a curve.
Yeah.
But it's not too difficult. Oh, well,
we'll see.
Yes.
It will become apparent. Okay. So, how do we get started? Let's just crack straight on.
Well, whenever I'm making a toy like this, I like to start by getting... Are they fins or are they flippers? Flippers?
I think flippers.
Flippers.
I might be wrong, but I think they're flippers. Yes.
So I'll start with the flippers. I'll prepare those, so once I get going, I can just join those in. So I'll do the flippers and then the shell.
Okay.
And the flippers, here's some I've already made. And it's just...
Producer Paul's check, they are called flippers. Thank you.
Yes, I always want to call them fins. Right sides together, one on top of the other. And when you're cutting out the flippers, reverse the template halfway through.
Okay.
Just so you've got, because you need them as mirror images, so when the right side's together.
So you'll do 4 one way, 4 the other?
Yes.
Yeah. You will need to check out your baskets on these. This is half the stock's already gone, and we had loads of stock this morning, so please do check out your baskets if you want this. I don't want you to miss out.
Okay, so I'm just going to sew around the sides of the flipper.
Don't worry, it doesn't matter. No one's going to moan about whether it's a flipper or a fin.
I'm just going to sew around the sides, leaving the top end open. And these are stuffed before they go into the seams, so...
Okay. So did you get a free choice? Did you just decide you wanted to do a turtle? How did this come about?
No, for me, that's the most difficult bit, coming up with the ideas. And
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that the magazine always say, can you make? And they'll give me a list of animals.
And then do you literally start from scratch and you figure out how you're going to do it?
I do.
Yeah.
But often if somebody says, oh, come up with your own idea, I'll start something and then halfway through think, oh, do you know what will be better? And then I'll abandon that and start something else. So to be...
It's quite nice to be told. You need to do this, but then you've got to figure it out for yourself.
So I like the idea part to be done for me.
These are going to sell out this morning, guys. If you do want it, please check out your basket. CHGC34. So if you check out now, you will be guaranteed one, but I'm sure in a couple of minutes that might change. We can't promise that.
Okay. So I've stitched around the edge and just take it nice and slow, because it's quite a tight curve here. Take it nice and slowly, pause with the needle down to reposition as you go.
Obviously, it's a curve.
And yeah, because I know curves, people not always great fans of curves.
I'm so intrigued how you you go from having something in your head to just how did you decide how to do that? How did you what's the process?
Always I work from a drawing. So I will draw exactly what I want to make, and I will draw it to scale as well, and then I will work the pattern from that drawing. And the general rule of thumb is the best the drawing, the better the toy will turn out. So put as much detail into it as possible. So I've clipped V-shaped notches in the seam allowance around the curves, just to remove some of the bulk once it's turned right way out. Some of the bulk from that fabric, the seam allowance fitting inside.
Just here. Great. Okay. Around our main curvy parts.
Yes. And I've also just clipped slightly into the internal curve here, just to give that a bit of freedom. But if you miss that out, that won't be a problem. I'll turn this the right way out, if my fingers will work this morning. There we go. Point turner.
I always put hand cream on just before we come in, and I think, oh, that's a good idea. But then when you've actually got to do things, sometimes it makes it really hard because you've got like greasy, slippery fingers.
Well, once I did that, and I couldn't feed the needle through. My fingers were slipping, so John had to do it for me.
What we like.
Okay, so just roll the seams a little bit, so that's turned out the right way. And I'll pop some filling in there, and then I'm going to baste the ends of these closed. I'm going to fill the bottom, but then leave this sort of section. Actually, it's a little bit much in there. Because leaving this top section here, about a thumb's width. Is that half an inch?
Okay, yeah, I would say so.
It makes it easier to sew into the seam. So when your foot goes over this, it makes it easier because it's less chunky, but also it means it
moves a little bit. It gives it this sort
got a bit more freedom.
It needs to have a bit of a wibble, doesn't it? That's what they use to swim along. You can just see here where they've been popped in while Joe's doing that. I can show you where our flippers go. I nearly said fins then. They've just got that little bit of freedom to move. Okay. So your stuffing is in this, in the bundle there, so you can just pop that in. And you get so much stuffing. I don't know if we've got, well, the bag's over there, but it's a massive bag of it. You could make plenty of toys.
You could. It doesn't take an awful lot of stuffing, this turtle.
We were saying earlier, actually, if you wanted to make this as a paperweight or something heavier, you could stuff it with something else, couldn't you? You said dishwasher salt, which I'd never heard of before. I
really like dishwasher salt as a weight. As long as it's not going to get wet. If you're going to give it to a child that might suck it or put it in their mouth, you don't want dishwasher salt. But rice, I've heard used, you can get weevils and crawlies in it after a while. But dishwasher salt gives it that weight.
And it would smell quite nice, I imagine too.
Nice and fresh.
Yeah, it keeps it nice and fresh.
Go. But yes, rice, lentils, I've heard all sorts used as a weight.
Oh, really?
But I would advise to pop it in, make out of lining fabric just a separate bag to hold it in, just in case.
For the main body?
Yes, then put the bag in. I'll show with one of the cats that has dishwasher salt in to weight it down.
It does give it a very different feel, as opposed to it being like a soft, squidgy toy. Then it gives it, if you wanted to use it, I suppose, as a doorstop, or, as you said, a paperweight, or even if it's just going to sit on a shelf, it's quite nice. Almost like a stress ball, isn't it? Actually, this is a bit like a stress ball because it's got that nice, that shell on the top.
It's
So
quite a good pin cushion as well, I think. It's
yeah.
large, but...
And a big pin cushion. It's cute, really lovely. How are we doing on stock for these? I bet we're really... Okay, how are we on stock, sorry? If everyone checks out of the Ocean one at the moment, there's only 5 left. Oh, gosh. If you do want that, please just do check out your basket. Oh, we've had some messages in. Let's have a look. Morning, Joyce. Hello. Is the turtle pattern in the magazine? Yes, it is. It is all in there. Have I got one here that's open? Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. And I put a Post-it note in it earlier. I'm more organised than I think. I forget sometimes. I did do this. Yeah, here it is. So all of your instructions are in here. So you can see it's on page 77 of Simply Sewing. This comes in your bundle, but you can just see there you've got your turtles there. And all of your instructions talking you through how to make it for your turtle toy. Really lovely sort of comprehensive descriptions and nice step-by-step images. And we've had another message in from Anne. Good morning, Anne, from Cheshire. Hi, girls. Jo, how many turtles can you make out of the kit?
Comfortably 3.
Yeah. Could maybe squidge 4.
Maybe if you, with clever cutting, you could squeeze 4 out of it.
Okay, so 3 is
Yes.
still a lot, isn't it?
It
Really?
is.
Yeah.
And you could swap the fabrics round. I mean, you could, in the magazine, the shell's patchwork, so you could alternate the fabrics in the kit to give the shell.
Like this?
Yes.
I don't know if you can see that here. Oh. I'll just show you in the magazine where you, if you wanted to alternate those fabrics on the shell itself. As Jo just said, that one here was patchworked. Lovely. Okay. So this is the kit. You're getting. This is the one that we've got here on our table at the moment. The Sunshine Turtle. 1/2 metre of all of those fabrics. There's only 3 left of this one if everybody checks out. So you've got your stuffing, your thread, your magazine with the pattern in, and all of your fabric, enough to make 3 turtles. You've also got that in Ocean, so that's more of a blue feel. Well, it isn't more of a blue feel, it is a blue feel. So let's say that properly. So that's your Ocean bundle there. Again, 1845, CHGC 34. That one's, if everybody checks out their baskets, that one will have sold out. And the last option is Little Miss Turtle, so a nice pink, girly one. Your spot-on pink there and your linear texture pink fabric. And that one there, GLGC 64. And here he is. Yeah. Let's let Jo carry on. I want to know how we do it. So you're basting these across, you're basting all those across the
top, just to seal, to keep the ends level for when they're stitched in, just so one doesn't slip down and you end up with a bit of a hole. So to keep them level and to hold the filling in place.
Okay, I don't know if you can just see that here. That's it.
And I baste within the seam allowance, and then you don't have to take the stitches out later.
Clever.
And now the tail works in exactly the same way, so I'll just...
Okay.
One on top of the other, right sides together, and then stitch around the sides, leaving the top end open.
Obviously, this one you don't have to reverse the pattern because it's just a triangle.
It's symmetrical,
Yeah.
so there's no problem.
Symmetrical, that was the official term I was looking for.
There we go. And again, just to remove some of the bulk, I'm going to clip away the corner. I'll trim it down a little bit more. And just put a little V-shaped notch in there. With those bits. And then, same again, turn it the right way out. A little bit of stuffing. The more stuffing in, the more difficult it is.
That's not going to take much, is it, really? It's quite...
It is only a tiny bit. And actually, you could probably not get away with not putting any stuffing in at all.
It is quite nice to have a little bit in there, I suppose. Just to give it that, makes it a bit more 3D, doesn't it? But it's a nice small little tail there.
So just pop a little bit in.
Do you think with stuffing, is it just sort of personal preference how much you put in? Because I think it might be quite hard to gauge, because they can always take a lot more than you expect, can't they? Like you can just you seem to be able to just keep putting more and more in if you wanted to. I guess it just depends how you want the final toy to feel. How would you gauge that?
I tend to put too much in, if I'm honest, and really pack it in, and then just before I'm about to close it, I'll feel it and think, oh, it feels like a stone.
Yeah.
And then go and take some out again. So Yes, it's always nice to have a think about how the finished toy will feel, give it a bit of a squidge. And to get a sense of how it will, because yes, if you're like me, you cramp too much in, it can become quite...
Solid, really.
Solid.
Yeah.
That's the word. Right, so they're all ready to go in.
Lovely.
When it gets to that point. And now I'll assemble the shell.
I'll line these up like they're ready to go. Okay, so next up is the shell.
And it's made pretty much in two parts, so the bottom part and the top part, and they're joined together around the edge of the shell. So I'll do the top part first.
Okay.
And that is this piece in the centre. And then I'm just going to join these along this top edge first, all the way around.
So a pentagon, and then we've got those 5, like a flower.
So it's like a flower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like half a football sort of thing.
It looked lovely, actually, in the patchwork with different, if you wanted to put in a splash of some other fabrics, you could sort of incorporate those, couldn't you, into the shell?
You could, if you've got some scraps and you wanted to put those in.
Yeah, because it's not a big, it's a really small piece of fabric.
That's the thing, though, you can just make it, because when you hand make a toy, it's unique anyway, because especially when they're handmade, no two ever look the same.
No.
And if you wanted to throw in an extra fabric or something, just a patch, just to make it unique.
What's the seam allowance on this?
A quarter of an inch. 6 millimetres or quarter of an inch. It's a small seam allowance, but you don't want too much seam allowance inside because it will bulk out. It will look chunky, the seams will look chunky because they're small toys often.
So with this, you're taking one, I'm going to call this a petal, but you know what I mean, like the outside bit, and then you're just attaching that to the main central body of that pentagon.
Just all around the sides of the pentagon. Pentagon.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, pentagon. Hexagon 6, isn't it? Pentagon's 5. What can we call our turtle? I think Finley is actually a really good name
Finley's
for a
great
turtle.
name.
Finley the turtle.
Myrtle's got to be in there as well.
Myrtle, that's a great one. Myrtle the turtle, I like that. You said this morning, didn't you? I was saying, how do you decide if it's a girl or a boy? And you said, was it a child that said to you?
Really matter-of-factly said, well, if it's got eyelashes, then it's a girl. But anything else is a boy.
So if you haven't got eyelashes, then this is a boy because it hasn't got eyelashes.
Maybe I should put eyelashes on one.
The little pink one, Little Miss Turtle, would be cute with eyelashes, wouldn't it? Myrtle the turtle, I like that.
I'll join the last one on.
We can't guarantee these now. They're actually selling out really, really quickly. So if you do have it in your basket, just head to the website and check it out. Or you can give the call centre a ring, 0800 112 4433. And the best way to actually check stock is to give us a ring and do it that way. So just give us a buzz.
Okay. Now I've hurried this a little bit. Try and remove some of these threads so it's like less messy.
Okay.
And now from this point, join all the petal bits together along the sides, leaving one open. I've gone too far on this one. Just to make it easy.
Do they overlap? Where you've
There will be a seam allowance overlap. Let's have a look. This one shows it a bit better. They should just fall together like that. You'd be able to bring them together. But try and keep, when you sew, within the seam allowance. So you've got the seam allowance at the sides free. Don't go right up to the edge because it does make it that bit easier repositioning them if you've got a bit of flexibility because you've finished your seam. That's a loose thread.
Let's just show in the magazine. Obviously, all of the instructions are here as well. So if there is a step that you're not too sure, and so this part here you can see is talking about assembling the shell for Myrtle the turtle. All of those instructions in that Simply Sewing magazine.
Throwing things around.
Trying to think of another name. Tony the turtle, that's my dad's name. Tony the turtle. He's not called Tony the Turtle, he's called Tony. Oh dear. You could have a whole, if you can get 3 or 4 out of this bundle, you can have a whole family. You could have Myrtle, Tony, Finley, and we need one more. One more turtle. Come on, producer Paul, think of a name. Shelley.
Shelley's a good name.
Oh, yeah, Shelley. Yeah, that is a good name. That is good. So because of the shape of that with the pentagon in the middle and those, as I keep describing them as petals, that's going to give you that sort of 3D shape, isn't it? Because it pinches it.
It does.
In.
Make sure they line up. And the more careful the sewing, I say this as I've been rushing through this, when you join them to the pentagon, and the more accurately lined up they are, the easier it is to join up the sides.
Should we just show that so far?
So move some of those.
So you've left one. I don't know if you can just see that here.
I'm going to sew down one last one, but leave one.
So we're going to sew
open.
that one last one, just leave one there. So all the way around, this has been sewn together. We'll sew one more and leave one open. And that's obviously for stuffing.
No, this is to add the side shell bit. It's just that you've got that bit of, if it's all joined up, it's tighter as a circle.
Yeah, to manipulate.
Whereas if one's open, you've just got that little bit more freedom of movement.
You probably can manoeuvre it, I guess, slightly more easily.
Because it opens out. It just stops it from being a tighter curve. I'll do this last one.
So come on then, what's your favourite animal you've ever made? Have you got a favourite?
I don't know. Well, it's always the latest one I've made, often, and they're a bit secret until they come out in the magazine.
Yeah.
So
you just made one that we can't talk about yet?
Yes.
Yes.
But I was quite pleased with that one. I don't know which is my favourite.
I like the unicorn.
I like the unicorn.
Mm. Where is the unicorn? Oh, he's here!
Is he on the shelf?
We've got a whole family of Joe Carter animals. Look at this one. So clever. It's an army of Joe Carter animals. So if, obviously you said we can do 3 or 4 out of that bundle. Roughly how long do you think this takes to make, did it take you to do?
I'm quite quick with toys because I've made them quite a lot, but I think a day, you could get one done in a day quite comfortably, I think. I like to get all the machine sewing done, and I'll show it in a little bit. There's some hand stitching around the shell to hold the sides of the shell here together. Sit down, I'm doing the face as well. Sit down.
Finish it off.
Later on, maybe a film on, and do the hand finishing then.
Cup of tea.
Perfect.
Glass of wine.
Right. So I will add the side shell bit to this in a moment.
Okay.
And I'll go on to the face.
We've just left that one part open there. So can I add this to our...
You can.
Do you need it? It's coming.
Almost.
Okay, so what's next?
The face, this is the upper part of the face. This dart in the top just gives it that little bit of width there to the head.
Yes.
And this is will be the mouth seam. So when I stitch that, I have it right way up. There we go.
Is there a right way?
There is. You need to get the corner, the side with the point in it needs to correspond with this internal corner in this piece. So the bottom of the chin is this smooth curve. And then I want to sew along here and then pivot with the needle down through the fabric. I'll draw it on. This will be the seam allowance. So pause with the needle through the fabric at this point here. They will correspond. And then readjust to sew along the next bit. And you'll get sort of a seam then that gives it a little bit of shape but also forms the smile, the mouth that you can stitch along in a minute.
So when you pause there, is that just to...
Just to readjust... With at this point?
What's that? Why do you have to pause?
Should I sew and then finish
should we
it?
do
Would
it?
that
Yeah,
make
just
more
so we
sense?
can see.
Let's see if I can do that. So I'll line it up at the end. And it's the seam allowance, not the very end of the fabric, it's the seam allowance that needs to line up. I'll just reverse.
Oh, okay, right.
Might slow the machine down a bit, actually. Put the needle down. I'm just going to stitch along here, so this follows the curve. And then when I get to that point, and if you find it helps to mark the point on with the pen, with a water erasable pen like that, do it. So the needle's down now through the fabric at that point, and I'm just going to ease the seam allowance out of the way, just so it doesn't get caught up in the seam. So move that out of the way, and then line that up for the second part of the mouth. And then sew.
So you're always having to tease the fabric a slightly different way to where it wants to go to give it that 3D shape.
You do, because there's an extra, the fabric gathers there, so
Yeah.
you do have to move it out of the way. Otherwise, if it doesn't, you'll get a bit poking through on that side.
Try to show that there, just so you can see. It's just that part there that Joe's talking about. And then when you open it out, it does give it that shape, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay.
And then there's a little dart at the top, which I'll just bring the sides together and stitch along there to close it. And that does just give the, it stops the head being flat from a face-on position.
You can just see that here actually on the actual.
Okay.
Just gives it a little bit of shape, doesn't it? So you do this with 2 parts, and then we're going to put it together to create that whole face.
So here we go. So they're the 2, and they need to be mirror images of each other, as we were saying before. And this is where it's easy to sew their face on the wrong way round, if I'm honest, because it looks like, it does look like a bit of an odd piece, this one, but this is the stomach piece here, and it fits on like that. So this side will be the centre of the stomach underneath.
Yeah.
So if this is the centre of the stomach, that needs to right side together. So the bottom of the face needs to join on to this side of the stomach. It's shown in the pattern.
So the bottom of the face needs to go onto the central part of the stomach.
Yes.
That main line, not the outer curve.
Extra bit here will join to the top part of the head.
Okay. So when you lay it down, you're hanging that away from that sort of tail part, if you like.
But even as I was making it, and it's my pattern, I looked at it and thought, oh, which way round did the head go on? So even I consulted the photo in the
But it's all
pattern.
in there, all in the
It
magazine.
is. Just stitch the face on.
Okay, so just a stock update. The Sunshine Bundle at the moment, if everybody that's got it in their basket checks it out, 3 people would actually miss out. There wouldn't be enough stock to cover all of those orders. We'll just check the other colours, but if they are in your basket, please, just if you don't want to miss out, just make sure you check it out, because you're not guaranteed it until you've gone all the way through to the end and processed your payment. CHGC34 is for the Ocean Bundle, which is the blue one. It's a similar scenario for that one. There are more in baskets than there are available, so just make sure you do check it out. Or give the call centre a ring. Joe, your toys are always so popular, aren't they? They just fly out.
It's lovely. It's lovely when people send me pictures as well.
I bet.
Of the finished ones.
The thing is as well, with a homemade toy, like these are the sort of things that people they'll keep, like in 30 years, someone might still have a turtle that their nan made for them, or that. Do you not think isn't that such a lovely thing that you're part of that? Okay.
So this bottom part is joined together. Now, I will join these together just to hold them together and to make adding the side shell easier. And I'm going to sew them together from the back here, just to be on this dart in the top of the head. So I'm not going to go all the way around at this point, just make a short seam there, just to hold them together, and that's easier then when I join the side shell.
And do you have the seams open?
I've opened the seams at this point, but you can do it however you prefer. I would I'll say that when I get to it, otherwise I'm jumping ahead. turn this round. And so just to beyond the dart. There we go.
Did you backstitch?
I do, backstitch at both ends, even with a small seam like that. It's not strictly necessary, but... So then we've got them joined together. Like that, this is like an L. And then I'm going to baste on all the limbs to this section.
Okay. So just to recap that, we took the two pieces of each part of the mouth and the face, and you assembled those twice. So you did two of those. Then you laid out these two central pieces and put them with the taily part, this sort of stringy bit away from the head, and then you assembled those, and now we're going to add everything in together.
Because it looks strange, but if I just do this, it will join like that, and the shell will go on this part, and that.
So it's going underneath. That's what we have to remember. So
it does sort of fold slightly unusually, but as long as you've got it looking like an owl, then all's going well.
Go for the owl, then you're in the right place. Okay, so we come back to this,
and this is the back of the turtle. So the flippers, I'm going to point them towards the back, and I will baste these into place, and there are markers for where they should be. See, even I do it now. I was about to join them into the stomach. They need to go on this side.
Oh, okay. So they go on the inside of
this. I looked then and couldn't find a marker.
Oh, yeah, you've already marked those on.
I have. So, there we go.
So once you've laid that owl out with the two circles at the top and the two bits hanging down, you're going to put the flippers on the inside, that inside channel.
Yes.
Yeah, got you. 1/4 of an inch again, we're going?
Just when I baste them, just inside 1/4 of an inch, so I don't have to, those stitches won't be visible and I don't have to remove them.
Okay. Next two.
Okay. I want to baste them to the right side. It does, I mean, it doesn't look like a turtle at all, does it? Even with, especially with the legs in this position.
But it will.
But it will. It will all come together in the end.
And you want the feet, obviously, to end up pointing, or the flippers to end up pointing backwards, don't you? Just going through the going through the water.
Towards the back of the body. Put the last one on.
That's it. So you do the flippers first and then the tail afterwards?
The tail...
Or right at the end?
The tail goes on right at the end because the tail falls, not quite right at the end, but it falls in between this seam here. So you can't put it on now because half goes on one side and half goes on the other, but it's easier to have this open to attach the shell section. Sorry, should I move
That's fine. I was just going to say you can just see that those flippers have gone on the inside there. Great. And they're all pointing down, aren't they, towards the... Also, we've had a message in from Pauline. Morning, Pauline.
Morning.
Can you enlarge the pattern to create a family of sizes? Oh, I love this idea. Love your toys, Jo. I've made them all so far. Send us a picture, Pauline. So, yeah, could we enlarge the pattern?
You can. The only thing I would say with a pattern when you're enlarging it, draw on the seam, because all the seam allowances are included. Draw on the seam allowance, then enlarge it, and then cut from your seam allowance. Add your seam allowance. Is this... Doesn't make sense, does it? Right.
It will.
John always laughs at my high-tech filing system for pattern pieces.
But a brown envelope does the job.
And look how wrinkly they are. Right, so here we go. So this would be the seam allowance. So draw this on.
Yeah.
Enlarge your pattern and then cut 6mm or 1/4 inch from this line. Because when it increases, the seam allowances will no longer fit together.
Yeah.
Once it's increased, you need to mark on the seam allowance and work from the seam allowance both times.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So if you wanted to make all different size turtles, you could?
You could.
That's really... You could have like a little stack coming down, couldn't you? A family of them. Pauline, send us a picture of the animals you've made. I want to see them all the toys. I'm just going to look at these cat doorstops. So if can I press pause? Can we just...
You can,
I don't want to miss anything. We don't want to miss anything. Just pause. You have to freeze like this. You can't move, Joe. I'll come back in a second. We'll be back in 2 seconds. So we've also got these cat doorstops on today's show. So these are really popular. They're really lovely. This is what Joe was talking about, actually, are filled with some dishwasher salt. So they've got some weight to them. And they obviously are perfect as a doorstop or just as a general toy or for the shelf. So you've got the pink cat doorstop, which comes with your pink spot on. And also you've got a really lovely sort of soft grey colour with that one, which you can see in this one here, actually. And then it comes with all of your instructions from Jo. So she's done all of the pattern for that, and your thread and your stuffing. So this is the pink one here. You can see it finished. Here it is, your glacier grey and your spot-on pink. I don't know if we can just see him there. It's got a cute little tail. These are the instructions that you get. So everything in there that you need to talk you through the process of making the doorstop. If you want another challenge as well as the turtle this morning. So if I just hold these up, you can just see you can see all of your sort of templates and your instructions. So I actually finished one of these off this morning. So this is your pink one here. And then you've also got a yellow colour option. So this is sort of a golden yellow doorstop. Really would be lovely for maybe a kitchen if you've got a nice natural colour theme. So you've got that gold spot on, and then you've got a creamy colour as well. Again, with all of your instructions, your massive bag of stuffing and your skein of thread too. This is the Joe Carter doorstop, the cat doorstop. WXGC03. Everything in there that you need to make that one, $14.95 again. Also, once you've got the pattern for that, that would work perfectly with that feline fabric we had this morning. That new John Louden one, that would be really lovely, a cat doorstop in cat fabric. So we're back with Jo. Jo, you have to be paused like this.
Sorry, yeah.
We can go again now.
It was quite handy that you went across to the other table then, because I've realised, I don't know where I've left them, but I've left my side shell pieces somewhere.
So we need to cut them out.
So I've just quickly drawn some out, and I'll cut them out.
Okay. No worries.
But as you can see, this is all the fabric I have left. And now I'm now cutting out my third side.
And you've still got all this fabric left?
So I've still got lots of fabric left. So I'll do that quickly.
What's the trickiest part of this make? What would you say?
This bit coming up, probably.
Okay.
Only because it's curved. And when I sew things like this on, I like to start from the centre and work out along each side. That's not the right way of doing it. It's just the way that I like to do it. So if, as a sewer, you'd rather do it all in one and pin. I tend not to use pins, so that's why I start from the centre, so it definitely lines up and will be on straight. There we go. There's one shell piece.
Okay. You've still got all that fabric, and you've made 3 out of that.
So look, all this left.
So you could probably squeeze a 4th.
You could. Especially if you went for a spotty body, maybe, for one of them.
Yeah, if you alternated the colourways, because obviously you've gone for the spotty shell on that one. Myrtle the turtle, Tony the turtle.
For these ones, I've alternated spotty shell and then spotty sort of side shell edge.
And that linear texture there as well. It's a bit like a shell, actually, isn't it?
You could always name it and embroider the name on the back of the...
Yeah, you could, or an initial for the person that you're giving it to, couldn't you? You could have it on that top pentagon.
We had a tortoise that I don't know how it got lost, but it ended up in our garden and our neighbour's garden, and it had Fred painted on the back of its shell.
Really?
So the people that it belonged to could easily identify it when it was found. But,
oh, so it wasn't yours, it just turned up in your garden?
It just turned up. A runaway tortoise.
Runaway Fred.
There we go.
It's funny, because although they move slow, they actually can get to places like quite quickly, like surprisingly, although the actual movement is slow, they seem to be able to travel.
Right, here we go. I'll find these on my trolley, these pieces, as soon as I finish.
They live for so long as well, don't they?
They do.
Tortoises get passed down through families of like 100 years or more.
Right, so I'll do this one first. This is the slightly easier one. You want to sew, and we've kept that open, so all this side bit, you've just got that little bit more freedom to move it round by keeping these bits open.
I'll just open it there so you can see. Yeah.
And you could sew from the back all the way around if you wanted to, but I like to join up. I'll just fold this one in half so I can find the centre. There we go. And the centre's marked on this one.
I'm being told, according to the Guinness Book of Records, sea turtles can live up to 152 years. That's quite impressive. It's older than us.
Okay, so I'd line those up. I'll pop a pin in this now. I avoid using pins generally in toys just in case one gets left behind because you don't want a pin in it.
Safety-wise, no, definitely not.
If you're going to use it as a pin cushion.
Although, yeah, I do really like that idea. I'm going to put some pins in so you can see what would work really well. Just have this sat on the side. Especially as well, it was Pauline, wasn't it, that messaged in saying about different size turtles. You could do, if you did a little baby one, you could have one as a pin cushion. That works really well. Let's stick some pins in. Works perfectly. Kind of turns into a hedgehog, doesn't it?
It does.
Actually, a hedgehog pin cushion would be really cool.
It would.
We should do that. Have you done a hedgehog?
I have done a hedgehog.
I don't think I've seen the hedgehog. Oh, producer Paul's writing it down. Yay. Pin cushion hedgehog. I don't know why I've not seen the hedgehog. Is he on the shelf outside?
I've not done it for sewing. I've done it for Simply Sewing magazine.
Okay.
There's one, but maybe
we need to get the hedgehog.
Maybe we could bring it to.
That's sort of an autumnal toy. Do you not think?
It is.
We'll get him in for September.
Sewing along one side.
Okay.
So I'm trying to speed up a bit, but curves are never
easy.
Curves
So
always
you're doing one. So you've gone from the centre round to that open part.
I have, and actually I think there's a photograph of this
Stage.
So I like to do it from the centre out. I just find it easier to keep on track because it's quite a long seam. There are markers that correspond, but if you join it up in the centre. But you could start at the bottom, make sure the centre's pinned so you know roughly. Because doing it this way, I sew on that side with the shell, main shell on top, and then with this side with the shell edge on top. So you might not want to do it, you might want the consistency of the same piece on top each time.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's just, it depends, I suppose, which. We've got it all in the magazine, though. Let's find it here. So as Jo said, this is from Simply Sewing. This is a design that she did for Simply Sewing. And in the magazine itself, you've got all of your instructions. So although Jo's showing us now, if there are any steps that you're unsure of, you've got all of those step-by-step instructions. This is included in the bundle today to get to this finished product here.
There's some fab other patterns in that magazine.
Yeah, but also you get 2 free patterns, dress patterns. Have I got them here? Yeah, look. This is all included. 2 of these, 2 dresses. I think they were worth 17. Did I make that up? 17. Does it say 17.58? Oh, it's on the actual cover. So yeah, you get 2 patterns in there with that magazine. All of this comes as part of that bundle with your instructions from Jo.
Last bit. So that's the shell. It looks a bit like a bonnet.
Yes.
And then I'm going to sew up this remaining side just so it is the full bonnet.
So then we encapsulate the whole thing, so it's we're making the whole circle.
I'll do that quickly. Well, this is what I mean sort of by the top of the body and the bottom being done separately and then they're joined together at the end.
We're at the point now where we've got the pieces, aren't we? It's just about putting it together.
It is. It's not the neatest job, but
we're doing it super speedy.
So there we go. So that's
okay. We've got about 9-ish minutes. Oh, no, it's like a little bonnet.
It is like a little.
You should wear that. Look, it's like so. It's like a little what else is that? Or a bowl. Let's say that. But this is our shell here that you've just finished there. So next up is
to attach this part of the shell around this curve here.
Okay.
And again, I do it the same way by lining up the centre and sewing along each side, But where this is different, and this is the thing I've been telling myself, I must remember to say this and not complete the whole seam. So along to about, to just beyond that leg and leave this last bit open.
Okay.
And I'll show why in a minute, but I'll do that quickly.
So again, we're going centre seam outwards, down just past that last flipper, and then leave it there hanging.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's important to leave that section open because we need to fit the tail in.
Oh, right. That's why I've got to leave a gap.
And this is the easiest way to do it, I think. So actually the top bit is fairly easy because they sort of mirror the same or a similar curve. It's towards the bottom it gets a little bit trickier. But the more filling that is in flippers, the trickier this bit is.
Because it's more bulky, so is it just harder to get through the machine?
It is, just manoeuvring everything around. So I'm going to arrange this over the leg section and then just sew.
Oh, yeah.
To just beyond the leg so that the leg's fixed in place, but I've got some free fabric to work with.
Lovely.
Okay. So this section, instead of joining it all together, that's free.
Leaving
and I'll
that
do the
open.
same.
Should we just show that again? I don't know if we
Sorry,
saw.
was I
Did
a
we
bit
see
speedy
that?
then?
Okay. So where we've just attached here these two parts together, at the bottom, once you've gone past that second flipper, we've just left this open. This isn't attached. Okay, great.
Okay.
So if you want to send us a picture in of any of the toys that you've made, perhaps of any of Joe's previous toys on the show, you can send them to studio@sewingquarter.com. If you're okay for us to show a picture on air, then please do send them in and attach them. We'd love to see them. We've had a great one this morning of Winston the cat, which I loved, with the sewing machine. That was brilliant. I want to make an album of all the pictures people send in. I keep saying that, like Amy's album, all the pictures that people have sent in for the show. Not just of cats, of anything people have made.
My cat will quite happily sit on whatever I'm sewing. So if
here.
I'm doing a quilt and it's bulky and it's overlapping, he will just go to sleep on the bit that isn't going through the machine.
You'd think the noise would bother them, wouldn't you?
Doesn't seem to. No. Not a fan of a hairdryer, but sewing machines, no problem.
He's grown up with a sewing machine, I'd imagine, hearing that whizzing away.
There we go. I haven't done the best job of that bit, but I want to speed on. Right, so now I'm going to join these. We've got that free section.
Just wait for that. That's it. So we've left that open at the back on both sides. Okay, yep.
I'm going to join this part of the shell, the ends together, and then I'm going to join the stomach bit as well. So if I arrange it like that. So these then are joined together in a circle, but there's an opening between the two.
Okay.
I'll sew them together, and then
So we
I
can
think,
see.
again, that there is a photograph of this because it's not necessarily the way you would expect to do it, if that makes sense.
But if you follow the instructions, you will get to the end goal. So Little Miss Turtle, which is the one on your screen at the moment, GLGC64, that's the girly one with the pink spot-on fabric and the pink linear texture fabric. If everyone checks out their baskets, there's only 5 of those left now. So I know we've not spoken about that one much. We've got the our green and our ocean one here. But if you do like the pink and that's in your basket, please just make sure you check it out now, today, if you do want it, or we will be out of stock of that.
Okay, so I'm just joining now the stomach together at the bottom, at the back. But not all the way, just for a shortish seam, because the opening to turn the turtle will be in the centre of the stomach.
Okay, we've got about 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. We should get to it. Now, because I'm rushing, I chewed it a little bit there in the machine, but let's turn it this way. As you can see now, they need to join together, but we've left them open there so that the tail
can be put in,
can be fitted in here before stitching around that bit and closing that. So if we turn it over,
that would be going in there.
The tail's going to go in there. So I'll baste it in the centre here and then close that section, and then I'll sew around the face, leaving the gap in the centre of the stomach. And then that's the bottom body.
So that you leave the bottom of the stomach open right till the end. That's the last. Is that the last part?
That will be the bit that's hand closed.
Oh right, okay.
There we go.
So based in the tail.
Based in the tail, I'll sew the rest of the shell to the bottom body quickly now, just to
I can see him. He's coming.
finish it off.
Or her, Shelley.
Shelley or
Shelley and Myrtle. So we're just doing this bit here at the back. Just this is the tail section here. So Jo just basted that in, and now we're just attaching this here.
So there we go. The tail's in. Then got loose
Really
threads all
start
over.
to see the shape now, don't you?
So I'll turn it back out the wrong way, and I'm just going to sew from this short seam that we made before. Continue this around, sew the head together, and finish about here. So I've got this sort of gap in the centre through which to turn.
Can I just show the head? I think we just missed that on a close-up there. We're just going to go all the way around the head here, across the bottom to sort of halfway to leave a gap here to stuff it. Okay.
And I would advise opening the seams of the mouth, just because if one gets caught, if they go up in opposite directions, one can get caught, and it can just pull the look of the mouth in the finished toy.
So it won't give it that smooth.
You might just get a bit of a crease and a pull there, which is not quite.
What
it
do you
just
want?
makes it a bit tricky to stitch the mouth on as well. Right, I'm just speeding through this now.
Yeah.
So I can
We're
get to
so nearly there. I really want to get the. So around the head, and then round to that middle of the bottom, the stomach.
There we go.
You're so speedy. You're doing it so quickly.
Oh, and I'm rushing, and I didn't, and it lined up. When you really try, they never do first time.
So the moral of the story is don't really try, just whiz it through, and it's gonna.
So then we have the top.
Oh, I love it! I love it.
So wrong sides, right sides together. Just stitch around the sides, line up the centre, and just stitch all around the sides, and then turn it the right way out.
Yeah.
But when that happens, it will open, it will pull up. So before you stuff the turtle, here's one of
Another one here, just to be super organised, so prepared.
We need to hand sew, so that, let's see if I can demonstrate this. This is the section I haven't stitched. That opens up. So if you stuff that then, you would get this opening up. You wouldn't get the thin, flat shell edge.
Like this bit. So you want to keep this without any stuffing in, is that what you mean?
You do, and you want to join them together at the bottom of the shell. So hand sew with needle, just put the needle through in the seam there, through to the other side. And just hand sew all around the inside edge of the shell.
So you're keeping that separate, almost like tubing, aren't you, really, just around the...
You are, and I find this is you could have a go at this with machine, but I think you get the neatest finish doing this by hand. And it just joins the bottom body and the shell together, leaving this as a flat piece, almost as if it's sandwiched in the seam.
Yeah.
But it's not, but it's easiest to do it like this.
To do that by hand. Perfect. So we're running quickly out of time, but so we'd have stitched that round by hand, and then the next bit is to stuff it. And then you're there.
Yes, so, and it's quite quick from this point because we've got the opening in the stomach. Stuff the toy, mark on water erasable pen where you'd like the eyes. In the pattern in the magazine, it says 6mm plastic safety eyes, but for this, because they're only small, I've done knot.
Yes.
Embroidered little knot eyes. And then with separate your thread from the skein, 3-strand thickness, and just stitch a little mouth, just following from the corner all the way around.
Perfect. You did it
We did,
in
just
an hour.
about.
Amazing. So Joe is actually back at 11 o'clock. We're doing purses and bags, aren't we? Thanks for showing us how to do Myrtle, Shelley, Tony the turtle. We'll be back in an hour. I'm just going to recap those doorsteps quickly. But thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
Pleasure. So we also had these doorsteps in this doorstops in this hour this morning. So 2 different colour options. The pink one, which is this one here. So you've got that spot-on pink for the body. This is, again, a design by Joe Carter. All of your instructions are in this bundle, so talking you through the method for that. And you can fill that with dishwasher salt if you wanted to make it slightly heavier and use it as a doorstop, or just as a general toy, and you could stuff it with the stuffing included in that pack. Then you also got this colour option, which is your golden sort of yellow with your creams as well. So your spot-on gold and your beige, again with all of your instructions too. If you wanted to make that, let's move that over, that doorstop. WXGC03. So those lovely turtles with Joe in that hour, a brand new toy from Joe, and which are always so popular, and rightly so, here at Sewing Quarter. So after the break, I am back. We've got lots of different tools and different accessories for pressing and ironing and making your life a little bit easier in the workroom. So we'll see you in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere, and I'll see you in a sec.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom-cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step.
Join us at the quilting event of the year this summer. From the 10th to the 13th of August, we'll be at the Festival of Quilts at Birmingham NEC. Come to the Sewing Quarter Cafe, where you can meet our presenters and enjoy a spot of English paper piecing with special guests, including talented quilter Joe Carter. And on Sunday the 13th of August, join me, John Scott, and designer Mandy Shaw at the Sewing Quarter Workshop. Learn how to make Mandy's redwork Christmas decorations and take home a free iron-on pattern transfer to help you get started. If you fancy being part of the fun, head to www.thefestivalofquilts.co.uk and use the voucher code SEWQ17 for £2.50 off adult tickets and £1 off concessions. We hope to see you there. Make sure not to miss a very special show on Saturday the 29th of July. We'll be joined by the fabulous Anna Sanders from fabric gurus Alice Caroline, who specialise in producing seasonal Liberty London prints in stunning colourways. Backed by popular demand, Anna returns to Sewing Quarter to show us some exciting kit ideas, perfect for anyone looking to spruce up their home decor or their wardrobe. Anna will be walking us through this unique Alice Caroline Sarah tote bag kit, containing everything you need to be able to create your very own Liberty wearable work of art. She'll also be teaching us how to produce this beautiful butterfly flutter cushion, a wonderful project for someone looking to add a special spruce of Liberty to their home. So join us and Anna Sanders on Saturday the 29th of July at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Welcome back. Good morning. If you've just joined us, it's nice to see you here this morning. You've just missed Joe Carter doing some really cool little turtle toys. There's still a couple of those left, so if you wanted to add to your basket, you need to check those out now because we're really limited on stock on those. But in this hour, so we're doing lots of different tools and gadgets. So you can see I've got a whole table of things to make your, a menagerie of things to make your work life slightly easier in terms of all of the sewing that you're doing. So I'm going to start first of all with the thing that excited me the most out of all of these toys, despite the fact it's quite simple. So this is a magnetic pin cushion. So it's such a strong magnet. Honestly, this is genius. I know you're probably thinking, why am I so excited about? I mean, look at this. I'll just show you it first of all. So it's a cylindrical shape. This is a magnet that with all of your pins on there. It comes like this. But this is going to change your life, because when you have pins all over your work desk or your workstation or the kitchen table, or even if you're going to a class and you've got them all in your bag, this magnet is so strong, it picks them all up. I'm going to show you now. So you don't get the pins with it, it's just the cushion itself. But let me just show you, it's so strong. So if all your pins are on the table like this, as they often are, if you're stitching, you know, if you've got lots of pins, perhaps you're doing a quilt, you've got this next to your sewing machine, this magnet here, let's have a look, just picks them all up. It's so powerful, it's like magic. I'm going to do that again, just because we can. So if you've got pins in the bottom of your bag, or if they, you know, when they fall on the floor, and they're just quite awkward to pick up, aren't they? Particularly if you've got a pin without a glass head on it or a plastic head on the end of it. It can be so fiddly to just sort of try and pick that up. In fact, you have to do it with your nails. But if you've got this magnet, does the job for you. Let's get this, and you need to see this in a close-up because it's like magic. Here it comes, it's coming, it's coming. So we go like this. It's just going to pick them all up for you. It's hours of fun you've got there, and it's only £4.45. So this is the magnetic pin cushion from Prim. Another use for this, which I discovered this morning in my dressing room, you can use this for hair grips, which I also find all over the floor all of the time. I think hair grips are one of those things that just seem to end up, I don't know why, but they just everywhere, like very much like pins. So perfect perhaps for a dressing table or yeah, just to pop your hair grips on as well. So this one, XCPH79, it really is a really strong, that you can see, if I just drop those pins, let's get that thread out of the way. I struggle to drop them though, loving the pin cushion. Let's take those off. Let's remove that thread. Let's do like a long, let's spread them all out as if we've just thrown them all everywhere. Here we go. Here we go. Lining up my pin cushion. We're ready, ready, ready. Ready, go. Oh. Ta-da! That's like magic. Also, as well, the other thing you can do, if you're taking pins out, so if you're working, I so naturally went to stand-up machine there because it's always there and it isn't here. If you're working on your machine and you have got pins, you know, and you're pulling them out as you go, is that you can just sort of, I don't want to say throw the pins, but you can take them out and just sort of aim it towards the pin cushion and they'll drop straight onto that magnet there. I don't know if we can see that here. If you can just sort of put them in that direction and you know they're not going to end up on the desk. They're going to go straight onto that pin cushion. Magic. Love it. £4.45. XCPH79 for that magnetic pin cushion there. Lovely. It's a great present, actually. A little, as a little gift, a little something to wrap up and to give to someone. So, I don't know where to start. What should we do next? The magnifier. So, where is it? This one here. Have we got one open? Oh, I've got one here. So these are great as well. These are basically a pair of tweezers when they've got a magnifying glass attached. So perfect if you're doing lots of fiddly needlework or craft work and you've got little sort of notions or buttons or sequins or beads to pick up. So let's just demonstrate that. You can just see here, this is a 4 times magnifying glass. You've got your tweezers underneath there. Nice sharp tweezers. You've got that point there on the bottom. So it is really, you know, sort of nice, strong pair of tweezers. If you turn it that way, you can just see how that's going to magnify it. Let me show you one of these. Let's grab a little button to show you. What should we use? Safety pin? Let's go for a safety pin. So let's just try and get this so you can, I want you to be able to see how it magnifies it. So obviously if your eyesight's going or you don't want to have to keep putting glasses on and off, or you've just got lots of fiddly little things, this is a really great way of just making that slightly more visible. If I lift it up, you'll be able to see. Can you see how that's just magnifying that there? So if that was on the desk, then you can just go straight to that and pick it up. Let's just show that again. Really easy. So you can just see there, you can see the size of the safety pin. That's the size with the magnifying glass there. And you can just pick that straight up off the desk with those sharp tweezers. $5.45 for that. JRPH67, and I've not had any hours of practice doing that. Straight away, let's just go straight to it. I said, I can't believe just how easy that just looks, but it is, because it is really easy. And also, the other thing this is great for, I'm trying to remember who it is that was here that love these for splinters, because obviously if you've got a splinter in your finger and you need tweezers to take it out, sometimes being able to see, I don't know if you can see on I haven't got a splinter, but you can just see how that's going to make that so much easier. I'm just trying to get that angle right. There, see? So if you had a tweezer, if you had a splinter, you can use that for that as well. Perfect. A nice little handy tool for your toolkit. JRPH67, and that one is $5.45. So this one now, the wobbly ruler, as we're officially naming it. Let's grab the wobbly ruler. So this one here is a pliable, it's a flexible ruler. So you can just see that here, look, wibbly wobbly. So this is great, this is perfect for curves. So I'll just show you this. It's a 20-inch ruler. Let me just lay it out so you can see. So you can see that there. I don't know if we can look on the... It's all your measurements are marked out, you're in inch increments there, and also in your half-inch increments too. Marked on really clearly in your white and black. But obviously, the main thing about this is that it curves. So if you're doing French curves, perhaps you're doing a shoulder seam, if you're dressmaking, this is a really lovely way to be able to measure your pattern and to curve it around the shape of whatever you're doing. So if you need to create some sort of, any sort of curve really, or if you're doing alterations, you can just bend the ruler around to check your measurements. And also, on that side, you've got your inches. On the reverse, you've got your centimetres. So depending whether you're going imperial or metric. And then it's still that nice firm edge there, that flat edge, if you're using it as a ruler to measure. So if you then bought a pen in, which I don't have, but against that, and you're butting it up against it, you've still got, it still acts as a ruler. It's still, you know, giving you that nice straight line. But really pliable, really curvy, really sort of simple to use. And also the great thing, you could roll this up to pop it in your bag. Obviously, it's going to take up a bit less room. Let me do that now, like this. Just pop that in. So in terms of centimetres, that's 50 centimetres long, or 20 inch, just over 20 inches. So, as I said, lovely for dressmaking, and particularly those French curves. So your item number for that was PRPH08, and that is £9.50. Now, you're going to be, I tell you what, you're not going to know what to go for. There's so many different tools in this hour this morning, lovely different options just to make your life a bit easier. And I'm sure there'll be something that you know, grabs your attention for any of these different products. So the next one we want to look at is a scissors bundle. So this is a bundle of scissors that we've put together. So you've got embroidery scissors, dressmaking shears, and also you've got your fabric marker pencils and your needles in this bundle too. So value-wise, this has all been paired together for you in a bundle. $19.95. Let me show you what you get in there. In real-life human form, rather than in the picture on the screen. So, this is what you get. You have got, this is from Hemline. So you've got your dressmaking shears here. Lovely soft grip scissors there, you can just see those. These are 8 inches. Really nice sharp blades, nice sharp point to your scissors there. Perfect for cutting your patterns if you're for dressmaking. And then you've also got your nice little sharp embroidery scissors, so for cutting all those loose threads, for getting right into the corners and trimming things, so like we were just doing with that turtle actually, when you're perhaps trimming the fins or the tail and you've got small intricate fiddly parts. Those little embroidery scissors, perfect for that. Again, with your plastic handle, and these are ambidextrous, so you can use those right or left-handed. Also in this bundle, you've got your fabric markers. So these are lovely. You get 3 different colour options. So depending on what colour fabric you're working on, obviously you've got light and dark colours to mark your fabrics up. So your blue, your white and your pink. It also comes with a little brush on the bottom, which brushes away the pencil marking. So if you're using it for dressmaking, it's almost as a replacement for tailor's chalk. And what's great about this, because it's a nice sharp point, obviously you can sharpen the pencil, you're getting a higher level of accuracy than you would perhaps with a big stick of chalk. So perfect if it's for, again, something where you really need that level of accuracy for marking. And then the last thing you get are your embroidery needles. So you've got a whole pack of needles. They're from sizes 3 to 9. I'm not sure how many are in there in total. I could count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. 16 needles in there. And that's all coming as one big bundle from a hemline. So you've got this, you've got your fabric markers, you've got your embroidery scissors, and your dressmaking shears. IRGC 95. So, oh, I love this next one. So this is the ironing sheet. We've actually got a snazzy video of this to show you. So let's show the video and I can talk you through what's happening. I'll grab it as well. Let's see. So the ironing sheet, here it is. So as you can see, this is perfect for placing under your sewing machine. You've got all of your measurements on there. You've got lots of different pockets for storing your bits and pieces. You've got your grid markings, your angle markings, lots of storage. You've even got a pin cushion on the end there. Obviously, it's an ironing sheet, so you can iron straight onto this. It's going to protect the table underneath. You don't have to worry about getting your ironing board out as well. Also going to dull the noise of your sewing machine if it's making a noise on the table, as they often do, acting as a sewing mat. There's your grids, you can see there, your angles. So perhaps if you're squaring off blocks or you're checking the angles of different, different projects, you can check those on those angled marks there too, in 30 degree, 45 degree and 60 degree increments. Then you've also got centimetre markings all the way around the edges. You can see that there in the centre. And you can iron straight onto it. So I'm just going to show you these pockets because I know the video skimmed over that a little bit. But so as you saw there, you can pop this straight onto your table. It's obviously going to protect it. It's a heat protector, so you can use your iron straight on here. You can see on the bottom here, actually, if I show you, this is protecting your desk. So you can put your sewing machine here. Obviously, you can just use it in isolation, but it's perfect for placing the sewing machine on and then having your iron working next to it. Then this part here would hang down on the table. So I don't know if you can just see that. It's quite bright, isn't it? But that's just going to hang over. If I turn it sideways, you'll see how this can hang over the edge of your desk. So you can just see that part. And if I turn this around, you'll notice that there are all different pockets. So you'll start at this end, you've got a pin cushion there. So you can just sort of put your pins in as you go. Let's just do that there. You can just add those to the edge of your desk. Then you've got all pockets here for your scissors, for any needles, any bobbins, lots of different pockets all the way along. And at the end here, which is really great, this is a Velcro removable pocket. So if you've got sort of offcuts or little bits that you're then going to empty into the bin, you can just pop those in there and then empty that later, so you don't have to worry about having different threads and things all hanging around. You can just stick that straight on to your Velcro. Then the mat itself, as I said before, you've got your grid markings on here. I don't know if we can see on the overhead camera, but there are centimetre markings and half centimetres all the way around the whole thing. So you can just see coming into the middle here, 80 centimetres across the bottom, 40 centimetres at the sides. Lovely if you want to line things up to squaring off blocks. And then you've also got your angles here marked at 30 degrees, 45 degrees and 60 degrees. So the ironing sheet in total is 50 centimetres by 92 centimetres. That lovely detail there, just all of your storage options off the edge of your desk. And just saving you from having to, get the ironing board out or go somewhere else to iron. You can do it right next to your machine as you go. So particularly if you're pressing seams and you've got little bits and pieces to do as you're working. So with that turtle we were just doing, there were seams that could have been pressed open. If you're working on your machine here, you can iron those here and then get them straight back into play and straight back feeding through the machine so you can crack on with the sewing. SDPH 34 33.95 for that one. Oh, we've had a message in from Julie, morning Julie, from Worcestershire. Just bought the cat doorstop kit and the bright cat material to use with the kit. Oh, I've lost the end of the message. I'm guessing it says great something. It's great something. I'm hoping maybe it's a great idea, maybe. But yeah, that is a fab idea, that cat fabric, which we'll look at again, actually, if you missed it this morning, from John Louden. So it's like a feline fabric in either beige or the grey and electric yellow. And you can use that for that cat doorstop. Perfect combination. Thanks, Julie. Send us a picture when you've done it. Test you now, see how quickly you can get it done. So we've also got 2 books in this hour. Let's move this over here. Talking of ironing, though, I'll just quickly show this. So this here is a mat to place on your ironing board or on the mat. But what it enables you to do is to place your iron flat down on the ironing board. So rather than having it sort of precariously resting on its end, which we all know is probably a little bit dangerous, with this mat, you're able to place the iron flat down on there, and it's not going to burn the surface underneath. So also as well, maybe if you have an iron that you need to return to a base, rather than having to do that every time, you can just pop it straight onto the mat for sort of short-term resting of the iron between garments or between pressing of different seams or different sections of your project. So this is the Silicone rest, PWPH52. Just thought I'd bring that in while we were on the subject of the ironing mat, because you could place that with our ironing theme. So we also have 2 books in this hour. So let's have a look first of all at no, this is the one that I want to do first of all, because this is so relevant to me. So if you don't know, I'm very much a beginner when it comes to all things sewing, and I would definitely say I'm still learning. Definitely still. My nan has been giving me lessons, which I absolutely love. I go round to her house and she teaches me how to use her machine. So morning, Nanny Midge, if she's watching, she probably is. So this book is perfect for beginners because it's how to machine sew, and it is for complete beginners. So this is perfect for me, from Susie Johns. It's a really lovely book. As we go through, you can see here, we have these scissors on the show, our stalk scissors. But it really is like having your mum or your nan with you there to teach you. I think sewing has become something that perhaps isn't, as frequently taught as perhaps it used to be. It used to be a skill that was passed sort of down through the family or at school. And I know that I never really did textiles at school. We touched on it. Should we put the book down, because that's glaring, isn't it? That might be better. We never really did much textiles or learnt those skills, and as much as I'd have liked to, it wasn't really something that was on offer. So having this sort of book holds your hand through it if you've never sewn before, or if you are a beginner like myself. So first of all, this talks to you about choosing and using your sewing machine. So sort of an annotated diagram of all of the different elements and how you use those. I should bring in. I've got a picture of me and my nan at the sewing machine. Paul, I should send it upstairs so we can show it on the show. And then all of your sewing machine accessories. So perhaps if you've got a machine, you don't really know what all of these bits and pieces are. That's going to explain all of that for you. Perhaps if you want to introduce a family member to sewing, or you are teaching maybe a grandchild to sew, this would be a lovely gift for them. Perfect for the summer holidays if they want to learn a new skill. Then talking you through all of the different techniques. So, checking your tension, how to thread the machine, maintaining your machine, your basic tools and equipment, so your scissors, your ironing equipment, all of your different materials. So then it also goes through 9 different techniques. So once we've gone through that basic at the beginning, then we get into techniques and projects. So what's lovely about this is it introduces a technique, and then it shows you a project to incorporate that skill. So straight away you're getting to use that technique that you've learned and apply it to something, sort of checking that you've made sense of it. And you're not just pretending. You can actually apply what you've learned. So we start with basic machine stitching, and then we apply that to a pot holder. So a nice, simple, straightforward project to start with. Nice simple tips, also a list of everything you need and what the finished size is going to be, what the technique used is, all described there. And then you've got your diagrams talking you through all of the steps. Again, then you've got another technique here, hems and metered corners. So it's teaching you how to do that technique and then applying it with a place setting. So it is lovely to, test that skill and to actually put it into practice, because it's all very well reading, the lesson, but if you don't get a chance to actually do it, the theory is not really enough, is it? You need to actually apply it. So then seams, looking at seams, and then a project to accompany that is the quilt, strip quilt. Then your next one, oh, I liked this one. This was your binding and piping. And the project for this one I really liked was oven gloves. But some nice achievable projects. Some inspiration here for a beginner. And I do think this would be perfect for the summer holidays. You know, if you've got, maybe your grandchildren are coming to stay, or you've got, you want something for a, oh, the weather's taken a bit of a turn, hasn't it? If you want an indoor project, then you're, then why not teach them to sew? Your drawstring bag there too. I wish I'd been taught to sew as a child. I never was. I was taught to knit. My nan taught me to knit. Oh, and I will just show this last one because I earmarked this one. This is a makeup purse. So would be really lovely with those, what were they called? The leather texture fabrics this morning. The gold, the pew leather, that was it. Silver and gold. That would be really lovely for these makeup purses here. So this is how to machine sew, QMMZ45. Let's have a look at those fabrics that you could use for those. I'll head over to the other side and show you. I might need a copy of that book. I might need to buy that book. Hold my hand. So let's have a look at these fabrics I just mentioned. So if you weren't here at 8 o'clock this morning, we had some premiere fabrics, some launches, brand new. These were the ones I just mentioned, which I love. So these are the gold and silver. So the gold is my favourite. Less than half of the stock of this has gone already, and we had loads of stock. So a really popular fabric. Let's open it out so you can see. Oh, there's only 10 metres of this left. 5 metres. 5 metres, so there's 10 units. So this is being sold by the half metre. It's 50% viscose, 50% pew leather. So it's a leather texture. If you look at this close-up, you can see that there really is that leather look to it. Really lovely for bags, perfect for a beach bag or a summer bag or a tote, but also for that makeup purse or toiletry bag. Obviously, this fabric, you've got that lovely, rich shimmer to that. It's water resistant as well. So rather than having to overcoat a fabric, you've got one here that's going to repel water. It's really nice and soft to touch as well, actually. $6.25, and the back of the fabric, you can see here actually on the edge, it's just a nice soft lining to it there, which is also on the back. Also, you could make some snazzy cushions with that. A bit of bling for your lounge or your bedroom. VNJQ47, that's for your gold one, and that's $6.25 per half metre. Then we've also got silver, if you wanted to go for a slightly different colour option. So again, a nice shimmery sheen, really catching the light. So you can see that here, this nice silvery one. Again, as I said this morning, the nice thing about gold and silver, particularly for bags, is that, you know, it goes with anything. Any outfit, you can just, you know that your bag isn't going to clash. How many metres of this one are left? Only 8 metres of this. So again, really limited on stock. If someone was buying a lot of this fabric, it would all go in one go. So if this is in your basket, please do check it out. This is brand new. This is a premiere, a launch this morning. So check it out now if you do want it. It's here today. So VCJQ12 is your item number for that one. And again, the silver is $6.25. You could combine them. The silver and the gold work really well together. If you want to go for reversible, so you could do a bag. You could turn a bag inside out and have it 2 ways. We've got purse and bag clasps coming up in the next hour. This fabric for that. You kind of need to have already got this fabric before it's sold out, before you see the purse clasps, because this is perfect for those. But you can see the silver and gold there working really well together. If we can see that. If I lift it up a little bit. There it is. Very different to anything I've seen here at Sewing Quarter before. A nice different fabric, something new. Now, we also had some John Lowden fabrics this morning, which are brand new on the show. So there are 9 different fabrics that we've introduced this morning. We've got whales, we've got dogs and cats. And the most popular is the dogs on blue. So I'll start with this one. It's a nice royal blue. All of these fabrics, now being told these are limited stock on all of these fabrics. So if you do like these, and these are great value, they're $3.55 per half metre. So if you do like these ones, this isn't adding any sort of pressure, but I just don't want you to miss out if it is one that you like. So this is the most popular. It's a lovely little Westie on blue here. You can just see that detail on that small little dog. And then the royal blue background there. I think this looks really expensive, this fabric. It's really lovely print. Perfect for you know, an animal-related project as well. Perhaps if you wanted to make a dog or a cat bed, if you wanted to make a carry case holder or a mat for water bowls. I don't think you should make a cat bed out of the dog fabric. That's probably not a good idea. But this one is your Dogs on Blue. TBJQ58 is your item number for that one. The next most popular is the Wales on Grey. So we're going to jump from dogs to Wales. Wales on Grey. This is a really lovely colour combination. So obviously it's got that nice nautical feel to it with our pod of Wales on that nice soft grey background. This is a really lovely soft fabric as well, actually. 100% cotton again, from John Lowden, but you've got that whale detail in all different navies, powder blues, soft baby blues. This would be lovely for bathroom blinds. Perhaps if you wanted to cover a bin for the bathroom, a laundry bin, a laundry bag to hang on some hooks. Oh my goodness, there's only 4 meters of this one left. If everything in the basket, so you just need to make sure that you check this one out if you do want this one. Again, only £3.55 per half metre. CEJQ56, that's your Wales on Grey. Now, all of these fabrics are cut to measure, so if you haven't bought from Sewing Quarters before and you don't know, welcome, lovely to have you with us. And these fabrics are cut off the bolt, so if you wanted, you could have as much or as little as you want or need. If you wanted 2 metres, you could order 4 units of fabric. If you wanted 5 metres, you could get, that would be 10 units of fabric. So it will be cut off to measure for you. And also, these fabrics are delivered in a really lovely Sewing Quarter box. We get lots of compliments on our packaging. It's a branded box with lovely tissue paper and a sticker inside, like a little present to yourself. Why not on this? What day are we on? Thursday morning. Thursday morning. So the next most popular is the, which one? Cats on Beige. So this was the one that we, this would be great for that cat doorstop, as we just heard, that would be really lovely to combine with the cat doorstop that Joe Carter did. So this is a lovely sort of taupe colour with cream outlines of cats on it, again from John Louden. You can see that one there. Again, 100% cotton. CVJQ57, sorry, is that one? £3.55 per half metre. Lovely. You could make a little catnip toy with that, couldn't you? Cats on cats. So that's your beige. And then finally, you've got, not finally, but you've also got another cat option. This one is a brighter option. It's got an electric yellow, almost like a neon. So we're just recapping the ones that are least in stock because this is really limited on these ones now. If you haven't seen it before and you like it, go, go, go. We have to be quick. So this is a nice slate grey with an electric yellow outline of the cats there. I might open this up, actually, for my sins, because I won't be able to get it back looking like that. But you can just see here. Be really lovely for lots of different projects. But this is definitely a brighter option. A little cat bed made out of that would be so cute. I think that's a great idea. JNJQ16, a cat cushion maybe? We were talking earlier about the cat cafe. Someone messaged in and said they went to one in Germany, and I know there's one in Edinburgh. Oh, there's one in Nottingham, we've now found out. But you go to these cafes and they're just filled with cats. And you can, perhaps if you haven't got one at home, if someone's allergic, or you know, perhaps you want more, you want to go and see more than one cat, go and have a slice of cake and a cup of tea, and go to the cat cafe and pet some cats. I'm guessing you can. No, you can. I'm guessing, producer Paul said, "Can you stroke them?" Yeah, I'm sure you can play with them in there. I don't think they serve you. No. Imagine a little cat coming in with a tray of milk. So that's your cats on well, it's the grey and yellow, JNJQ16, again at £3.55 per half metre. Just recapping those new ones that are most popular this morning because we're limited on stock on those. We will come back to them in a bit. So let's carry on with our tools. So let's have a look first of all at which one do we want to do next? Oh, the Fray check. So this is a premiere. We haven't had this on the show before. Oh no, producer Paul's never seen this one. I've never seen this either. That's why I thought this was a premiere. No, maybe we've had it on once before. So this is a Fray check, so it's really great for, it's a clear transparent liquid. You pop it on the edge of your fabric and it stops fraying. So it does what it says on the tin. It remains flexible, so it's like a clear, almost like a glue, and it dries clear as well. So you can just pop that on the end and it will stop any fraying, any sort of strands, or all those loose threads. You get 22.5 millilitres in there, to be precise. And just that nice sort of easy squeezy bottle with that applicator on the top. KUPH02, and that's 5.45. Now, not surprisingly, something that's incredibly popular this morning is our magnetic pin cushion. If you haven't seen this before, well, I'll tell you what, I'll show you. It's brilliant. This is just great. So your pins could be scattered, as I'm sure they often are, all over the table or all over the floor. Perhaps you're working next to your machine, you're pulling your pins out as you go. Pins are fiddly to pick up, particularly if they've not got a glass head or a plastic head on them. They can be quite tricky to pick up off the table. So like this one here, you know, you're having to try and pick that up with your fingers. If you've got all of those pins there, that can be a fiddly job. This takes all of the work out of it for you. So here we go. So this one here we go. Just picks all of your pins up for you. It's like magic. It's a really, really strong magnet. Obviously, you could do that from above, so you could have them, oh, can't even get them off now. You can get them all on the table like that. And just go like that in one go. Should I show you that again on a close-up? Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And that little one there too. So really, really easy, just making your life so much easier. If they're all on the floor, it's almost like this is an essential, really. It's a toy. It's a gadget or a toy. I think we could debate that one. But if you're going through the sewing machine as well and you're pulling pins out as you go, perhaps, you know, if you're feeding something through the machine, you don't want to sew over them, as lots of people don't want to. If you've got your pin cushion there and you've got your pins here as you're taking them off the machine, you can just angle them, throw them towards that pin cushion, and they're going to stick, even on the edges. Look there. You don't even have to place them on; they just stick straight on there. This is hours of fun. I could do this all morning. It is a really strong magnet. And then you can pick them all up like that. Just hoover them up. Or perhaps if they're in the bottom of a bag and you want to just pick them all up, just hoover them all up in one go. 4.45. I think you'll probably wonder why you didn't have this before if you've only just seen it this morning. XCPH79. Now, the next most popular thing this morning has been the silicone iron rest. So this is really great for, to be honest, the great thing about this is there's a safety feature. As we all know, we balance the iron quite often on its end and stand it up on our ironing board, which probably isn't the safest place for it because obviously the heat is still exposed. Have we got the iron here? So rather than obviously having your iron like this on its end on the ironing board, if this was on, this isn't on at the moment, obviously I can touch it, but you can just place this straight, rest your iron on the silicone mat, sort of short term, while you're between ironing garments, if you want to, or perhaps if you're doing little fiddly bits and you're doing a bit and then you're putting it down, obviously you don't want to burn the surface that you're working on. You can use this mat to protect that there. It's a flexible mat. Silicone there, so it's obviously heat resistant. You can just pop your iron straight on there next to it, next to your work, whatever you're doing, without having it sort of precariously balanced on its end with that. I am always conscious actually when I'm ironing that if that's there, even if you're doing something, it's almost, you are near, you know, your arm is near the iron, it's near that heat. If you can place it down, you've got no risk of that, you know, of being in any danger. So I'm $5.95, PWPH52. This is for this silicone iron rest from Prim. Lots of gadgets from Prim this morning. And it's a good size, that would fit most irons. Also as well, perhaps if you have an iron that you have to slot into a base, again where it would stand up and you don't want to keep returning it to the base, this is sort of like an in-between. What's the word I'm looking for? Not intermittent. Oh, it's gone. An in-between. It's an in-between stop for your iron, in between what you're doing and the base where you need to return it to. So let's pop that down there. Then we We looked at that book for beginners, perfect for beginners. We've also got another book in this hour, which I'll grab here. This is all about practical sew and mend. So if you, if you're upcycling or if you've got things that you want to mend and repair, then this book is teaching you all of those techniques and showing you how to do everything from, buttonholes, replacing buttons off a shirt, if a dress is unravelled or if the skirts become too tight or too loose around the waist. This is sort of a guide to teach you how to do all and tackle all of those tasks. So you've got step-by-step instructions, lots of sort of nifty repairs and fixes as we go through here. So you can see here, these are all the different chapters. So you've got buttons and other closures. You've got seams, you've got hems, and fix and repair. So if you've always wondered how to do those little jobs, it's going to show you how to do this. Let's skip forward to the first chapter. This is just an introduction, sort of basic know-how. Let's move them forward. So buttons and other closures. So here you've got how to sew on a button, a 2-hole button. Really thorough step-by-step photography, all labelled with your diagrams and sort of corresponding to the text here, so you can follow each step and marry it up to the corresponding picture. A 4-hole button. Then you've got stitching on a shank button. Making a buttonhole, perhaps if you want to do that by hand, that's going to show you how to do it. That's why it's a bit shiny, isn't it? Let's try and hold that. Hooks and eyes. It really is showing you all these different techniques, sewing them onto a waistband, sewing on a snap fastening, Velcro closures, ironing on Velcro closures. You've got metal snaps, studs. Honestly, there are so many in here. How to make? I thought this was useful. How to mark a hole in and make a hole in a leather belt. So perhaps if you need to make it tighter or looser, and you need to make, add an extra hole. Sometimes the holes, aren't in the right place according to what fit. Perhaps if you've eaten a few too many ice creams this summer. Then we move on to seams. So mending a seam, taking in a seam, letting out a seam, repairing a split seam. Then we've got hems. This is particularly useful, I always think. So you've got the iron-on hemming, the ironing on that web, like Bonder web. You've got repairing a hem. You've got invisible hems. You've got hemming with a slip stitch, top stitching a hem. All of these options. A jumper hem, letting down a hem, that's something I quite often have to do. Taking up a hem, or the opposite. Oh, we've got this tool. I'll show you that in a minute. We've got this tool in this hour. Here it is now. Let me show you. Where is it? Where is it? Oh no, where's it gone? Yeah, here it is. So this one here is all about, it's sewing a gauge. So it's perfect for adding seams, and like they've used it here for a seam for taking up a hem. So this has got a slider here. It's the knit, sew and knit gauge, and you can push this slider down. Let's just hold it up so you can see. You push that slider there, and then you can create different sort of distances, and this is marked in inches. Have we got an opened one? Oh, let's open it. Let's go for it. That's better. I can actually show you now. So centimetres and inches are all marked on here, and what you can do is great if you're if perhaps you want to add a seam allowance to a pattern. You can slide this down, and then you can butt that up against the fabric, where depending on how much you need to allow. So here you can see, and this is for taking up a hem. They've used it in this book here. So you would place this on here. Say you want to take up the hem an inch, then you can just place that line there, and you know that you've got your inch measurement down from there. So you would mark the hem against that red line, then you can fold it back. It's only 245. Nice, easy slide. And just add that to your basket. And you can see there that you can just butt, because of that sort of raised part there, you can butt it up against it to measure your adding a measurement to a seam or for hems. Also, you can use this for marking pleats. So if you want to use the different increments marked along, you could do one for the fold and then one for, then mark the next one along, then slide it along, do your next fold, slide it along. GHPH 70. I just wanted to show you that while we were on it in the book. But you've also got hemming your fabrics there, but then we get to fix and repairs. So you've got instant fixes. Where's the bit that I really loved? I bet I marked it with did I mark it with Post-it note? Of course I did. Post-it note obsessed, stationery obsessed. I can't help it. So this is for mending a pull in knitted fabric, which I personally find so frustrating. I've got so many knitted jumpers, and when you get those sort of pulls or little, those little threads that have come out, it's so frustrating. If this is showing you how to pull those back through. Because if you actually pull it, you can create more of a hole, or you create more damage. As producer Paul's telling me he did on his Christmas jumper. But actually there is a way to pull it back through. And you've also got mending a hole in a stretch fabric, obviously a fabric that's behaving differently. Invisible mending. So loads of different practical mending solutions. Reducing or, making a waistband bigger or smaller, depending on whether you've, gained or lost weight. Replacing a drawstring. Fixing a pull zip. So it's a really comprehensive guide. 115 pages, in fact, of all of those different tools and tips with really useful photography and step-by-step instructions. And it's only £9.95. ZXMZ02 for the Sew and Mend Know-How book. So let's look now at what's next? Where's the other? There's so many tools. I don't think I have got a stitch ripper here, have I? No, I haven't, but I have got this, which is, this is a Fixo tape measure. So this is a, as a regular tape measure would be, like the one you get in your sewing quarter kit. But what's lovely about this is a self-adhesive tape measure. So this is for attaching to a workbench or a workstation or a table. And because it's sticky on the back, and then you can use that as a guide. You could perhaps place it near your sewing machine or even on a workbench for perhaps woodwork. Then you can use that to measure as you go. Do you know, we actually used to use one of these. We had one that we stuck on the wall like this. It was a height chart when you're a child. You have it stuck on the wall, and then you go up and stand up against it, don't you? Mark your height on the chart. So it's a good way for checking how tall you are. Producer Paul said, how much have you shrunk by? He shrunk by ½ an inch. That does genuinely happen, doesn't it, as you get older? My nanny Midge was telling me that as well. No, but my nan was telling me that she's moaning that saying he's getting old. My nan was telling me she's shrinking too. I think that does genuinely happen. So this is a self-adhesive tape measure. He's really not happy that I just said that he's getting old. It's okay, Paul, it's fine. We're all getting older. FNPH 53, that's the Fixo tape measure. It's only £2.95, and this is 150 centimetres, so it's 1.5 metres. You can obviously put that across your workbench, by your sewing machine, or by where you do your needlework and your sewing and crafts. And just it's an easy way to be able to line your fabric up against it and to measure it. So we had some Premier fabrics at 8 o'clock this morning. If you missed it or you weren't sure what ones you wanted, let's go and recap those now. So these are from John Lowden. My favourite is the Dogs on Ochre, which is a lovely sunshine yellow. Let's look at that one to start with. It's a nice, bright, cheerful fabric. So there are 4 dog options with our lovely little Westies. Send me in a picture of your dog. Please send me in pictures of your dogs. studio@sewingquarter.com, or go to the website. You can go to actually, you can't send pictures that way. You'll have to do it by email or social media. Please send me. I'd love to see dogs or cats with something sewing related. So someone sent one in with a cushion and their dog, and that made me happy. Someone else sent in a picture of their cat, Winston, chewing the top of the sewing machine. That was a winner. Please do send in your pics. So this is the Dogs on Ochre. This is a lovely, bright sort of sunshine yellow. And you've got your Westies there, as I said, in a nice soft cream. I don't know if you can see that here. This is only £3.55 per ½ metre. It's being sold in ½ metre increments, so it's cut off the bolt for you. It's got a little smile on in that little dog, playful dog. BPJQ92 is your yellow. The next one is this lovely soft pink. It's a dusty pink, actually. Let's look at that. Again, with your Westies. Just a different colour option, so depending, you know, what you like. Really lovely. It's a nice, it is definitely a dusty pink. That's a crushed raspberry sort of colour. VHJQ42 is your small dogs on pink. These are brand new this morning. We've never had them on before, and they've been really popular today. If you do like them, you will need to check out your baskets on these because we're limited on stock. This is in olive, so this is your other colour option. Dogs on olive. Let's see that one there. So this is a nice sort of a grey green. I don't like olives. I feel like you're really sophisticated if you eat olives, but I don't like them. I know, everyone... There's a bit of a debate in the studio about whether olives are good or bad. I wish I did. When I was younger, when we were on holiday, my dad said, I'll give you £1 if you eat an olive. And I just absolutely hated it. And I've never looked back, never tried one since. I think it's such a strong, I'm just not a fan, such a strong taste. Producer Paul's telling me I might like them now, but I don't think I will. So this is your dogs on olive, that lovely soft greeny sort of khaki grey. CIJQ41 is your item number for that one. Then we also had that in blue. I'll just quickly show that once more, as that's been the most popular this morning of all of the fabrics. Really limited stock on this one. This is a nice deep blue, again with your Westies. So 4 different colour options. TBJQ58. This is the one that we want a pair of pyjamas made out of, or a dressing gown. But dog beds, dog cushions, perfect for this fabric. A carry case cover for your... perhaps if you're taking your dog to the vet, poorly dog. £3.55. So that's your 4 colour options in your dogs. Then we also had some, should we do the whales next? Yes, we're going to do the whales. So the first one, let's look at the navy. So this is a darker fabric. Obviously the background of it here. Let's open it out. Let's go for a waft. Here it is. So this is a really lovely fabric. Is this one that's slightly wider? How wide's this one? Let's double check that. But you can see there your lovely whales there, your pod of whales. Be lovely for curtains in a children's bedroom. Perhaps you could do a whole range of accessories in that. You could do a bin, a lampshade. This is slightly wider, so it's 150 centimetres wide. QAJQ48 is your item number for that one. So we also have that in different colour options. We've got that in a really soft blue and also in a grey. So let's look at that baby blue to start with. Oh, that folded up significantly more easily than I thought it might. So this nice soft blue here, you could team these. These, again, would work really well together. Again, perfect for your bathrooms. Oh, it says there, Wally the Whale. This one's called Wally the Whale at the bottom. Let's show you, I'll show you that in a second. Here it is. Like we've been naming our turtles, Myrtle the Turtle, we've got Wally the Whale this morning. HMJQ95 is your item number, and that's for the light blue. I'm just going to show you that with the navy. I just think they work really well together. Let's fold that one back up. Laundry bags. Oh, you know what this would be great for? Swimming bags for like a beach bag for children for the summer, or you could do like a drawstring bag to take to swimming lessons. That would be really cool. You could odor coat it as well, so it's waterproof. So this is the navy and the light blue together. I just think they work really well as a pair. If you wanted to go for a reversible swimming bag, now we're getting interesting. So you can just see those 2 colours together. I don't know if I lift those up. Lovely. HMJQ95 is the navy. And there was one other whale. I'm just going to quickly show you that. If you want a different colour option. This one is on a really soft grey. All of these are 100% cotton. They are really lovely soft fabrics. That one there, just as a different colourway again. So that nice soft grey with your blue whales in your navy, powder blue and turquoise. Please check out your baskets on these. I'm being told we're very limited on stock, so I don't want you to miss out. CEJQ56 Again, 3.55 per half metre. Lovely jubbly. So let's head back over to the other side. Can I take the gold with me and the silver because I love it and I want to show you again. I love these. See, look, I know this isn't a bag, but can we just imagine that this was a bag? The gold, black and gold, is a classic colour combination. I'm going to take these with me over here. They're great. We haven't had these on the show before. They're sort of a leather texture, leather look fabric. Perfect for bags. I'm going to show you them again in a minute. So, what have we not looked at? Let's look at so there's Fray check. We did look at this. So this is what you would add to the edge of your fabric to stop it fraying. So perhaps if you don't want to overlock something, this is a clear, like a glue that you pop on the end, and it will stop your fabric from fraying. It dries clear, it's transparent, it still remains flexible, so you can still have that movement on the end of that. So it's simply called Fray check. It keeps your fraying in check. £5.45, KUPH02 for that one. Lots of people getting involved with this one, liking that this morning. Has someone sent in a picture of their dog? I'm so easily pleased. Let's see. Have we got a... Oh, it's coming, it's coming. Here we go. I'm ready. Oh my goodness, so cute. Is that a puppy, do you think? He must be. Let's find out his name. Oh, he's gorgeous. I don't know what breed of dog he is, actually. Let's find out. Who was that from? Hi, Diana. Thank you so much for sending that in. Didn't say the dog's name, so we're not sure on the dog's name. But we've got a cat been sent in as well. Let's have a look at the cat. This is from Julia. Morning, Julia. Thank you for sending in a picture. Let's see. Let's see Howard the cat. Here he comes. They're just getting him up on the screen. I love this. He's coming. Howard the cat. Oh, is he on a quilt? Let's see. Here's Howard. Here he is. And he's with his hexagons. There he is. Morning, Howard. I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you like the feline fabric. Let me know, do you prefer the beige or do you prefer the yellow and grey? What one would Howard go for? Who knows? Thank you for sending those in. That's lovely. So let's have a look again at this magnet, which is absolute magic. If you've not seen this before or you've just tuned in, this is a pin cushion that's a really strong magnet. So rather than having to pop all your pins into something and actually place them, this you can almost throw your pins at the pin cushion and they'll just stick. Or you can use this to hoover up pins from the floor, from your desk after you've worked. So I'm just going to lay these out so you can see. Here we go. And this just picks them all up. It's a really strong magnet. The novelty of that never wears off. I just want to do it again. Or you can do it from above. Picks them all up in one go. It is just so like a nifty little tool. I spread these along. Pulls them from quite a distance. It's a strong magnet. I think that's an essential, really. And also, if you were sewing on your machine, again, as I said earlier, you can just sort of, you don't have to place the pin onto the magnet. You can just drop it, and you know that it's going to attach from a distance. Look, they just all stick. It is a really strong magnet. You can give that a really good wiggle and a shake, and they're not going anywhere. Also, use that for hair grips. If you want a multi-use, if you want to multi-buy, I would also use this for hair grip. Producer, I might have to have this in the dressing room. Might just have to sneak this one. Maybe I'll have to buy one, put it in the dressing room. That is a really good idea. Hair grips are one of those things that just always end up all over, or they end up all over my floor. So we also had these tweezers that are attached to a magnifying glass. So it's a really sharp pair of tweezers underneath, and then on top you've got a 4x magnifying glass. So I'll just show that here so you can see how those are attached there. So you can see your tweezers, a nice sharp point there. And your magnifying glass on top. Great for splinters, but in the context of sewing, let me show you something you could do with it. I'll grab a safety pin. Let's see. So you can just see that here. If I place the safety pin behind, just so you can get an idea of sort of the scale. So if your eyesight's going, you can just see that's the size of the safety pin. That's it with the magnifying glass. If that was on the desk, then I can just see that much more easily to pick it up. Nice sharp tweezers. Oh, it's picking that up. JRPH67, and that's $5.45 per half. Not per half metre, per, that just came out on autopilot. You can't buy tweezers by the half metre, I'm afraid. But this one is $5.45 for the tweezers with the magnifying glass. But I'll tell you what is by the half metre, the gold and silver that I love. So let's have a look at, first of all, is the silver. So this is a nice, shimmery, shiny silver. It's a leather texture look, so it's 50% viscose, 50% PU leather. It's a nice, sheeny, shiny silver. VCJQ12. This has been super popular this morning. There it is. You can just see there. $6.25 per half metre. Have I got time to squeeze in the gold really quickly? Let me just squeeze in my favourite. This is the gold. So you really can see that it's that leather look. It's water resistant, so that's a really luxurious fabric. The silver's actually more popular at the moment, but VNJQ47, $6.25 per half metre of this for that leather look fabric. The purses we've got coming up in the next hour and bag clasps with Jo Carter, you're going to love this fabric for that. $6.25 per half metre for that one too. So, as I mentioned, Jo is back in the next hour. We've got them back. We've got the last time they sold out so quickly. These are actually a brand new collection of purse clasps with a whole set of instructions of how to use those, and also for bags, for smaller bags. You can use them for glasses cases. They're lovely metal clasps that give a really professional finish to purses and bags and glasses cases as well. So Jo is going to be showing us how to do that in 3 minutes. We'll be going through all of those, and we've got some fabric options for that too. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in 3 minutes.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts. Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @sewingquarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do an ease stitch. It's very similar to our running stitch here, but the purpose of it would be different. So I've kind of mocked the head of a sleeve here. 9 times out of 10 you will have to ease the top section of your sleeve. So this is the stitch that you would do that with if you were going to do it with hand. So I'm going to use the embroidery thread. I've just popped a knot on the end again just so it doesn't pull through. Normally you wouldn't do it with embroidery thread. So on your sleeve, normally these sections will need to be kept as they are because it's only this section here that we need to be working with. So I'm going to be doing a running stitch quite close to the edge of the fabric. I'm just going to do the quick method here where you're pulling the needle through the fabric while keeping it on the same needle. So I'm going to stop there and then pull that all the way through like so. So you can see that I've got just that section sewn there, and then as I begin to pull you can see that I'm easing the head of my sleeve in. So when that is stitched, these curves should disappear. They shouldn't be there because you've eased the bigger section into a smaller section on the clothing. So that's easing.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!
welcome back. I hope you've got a cup of tea in your hand ready for this last hour. We've got them back. We've got some purses back in stock, the clasps. These are actually brand new clasps that we've not had on before. So this is called Snap It Up. If you want them, you will need to snap them up because they go so quickly. They're always incredibly popular on the show. So this is what you get in the kit. You get these step-by-step instructions from Jo. So I'm showing you how to use these clasps and how to use the clasps and attach them to purses or to bags. Then you also get 4 frames included in this kit as well. So you've got one sort of brass look one and 3 silver ones. And they're all different shapes and different sort of attachments on the top of those frames. Let me show you the ones. Producer Paul just said in my ear, you need to get in the right frame of mind for these ones. We are in the right frame of mind. Here we go. So we've got, these are perfect for coin purses. So you've got a nice sort of one here to create a circular top to your purse. These just create a really lovely professional finish. Then you've got a brassy look version of that. This with that gold leather texture fabric, lovely. Then this one's really, haven't seen this one before. This is a new one. This is a hearts one. Jo's actually made a purse using that one this morning, so I can show you that in a second. And then you also get this slightly larger one. So this would be perfect for a larger purse, or you could use that for a glasses case or a little toiletry or makeup bag. Every single time we've had these purse frames, they've sold out. These ones are brand new. We've never had these ones on before. They're different look. They're different clasp attachments. So if you do like them, or perhaps you've had the other ones and you've used them already, this is a really great bundle for those. So SXGC69 is your item number for that. So I'm just going to quickly whiz through some fabric bundle options we've got for those purses this morning. There are 6 different options. So I'm going to start with these lovely pink florals that also come with a solid. So you get 1/2 metre of a patterned fabric and 1/2 metre of a solid in all of these bundles. So this one here, this is really soft actually. It's like a soft grey with that blossom. And then it comes with your solid pink too. So it's 1 metre of fabric in total, £9.45. Then the next one's another colour option of that. So again, you've got your blossom, but on a whiter background. So this is a slightly crisper colour in the background there with that lovely summery blossom and with that nice soft pink solid teamed with that one. This is the white cherry blossom. Again, £9.45. Really feminine. That's a really lovely, lovely feminine bundle. VHGC92. Then we've got some butterflies. So we've got this one here is a lilac solid and it's paired with a navy background with lovely purple and pink butterflies too. Nice, bold, strong colours. These would be lovely for children if you wanted to create coin purses, perhaps with this nice playful fabric. These are lovely as well if you want to do a lining in a solid and have this on the outside. Then we've got another butterfly option. This is in a nice bright lime green and teamed with a coral. Just whizzing through these so you can see the different options. I love coral. And then you've got that lime green and some orange and pink detail in those lime butterflies. £10.95. Then we've got 2 others. We've got these ones have a linear texture fabric, a linear look fabric. So it's got that cross-hatching detail in a grey. And then this is a slightly thicker fabric actually. Is this... Can we just check that? So this is a really bright turquoise there. And you've got that crosshatch on the grey there. Slightly more affordable bundle at £8.45. Yes, this one is canvas. So this is canvas in duck egg. So more durable, slightly more durable. Then your other colour option for that is a, I thought so. This canvas is not called duck egg. This one's called turquoise. Yes, that makes total sense. So this is turquoise and your grey here. This is the duck egg one. So it's in a nice teal, crosshatch teal in that linear style. And then your duck egg underneath, which is this one here. So 6 different colour options for your purses. Let's get over to Jo and get started with these so you can see these frames in action. I'll take some with me so we can look at those. Okay, so... We're back.
We're back.
Hello, Jo. Everything you do, always, these are always really popular as well. Toys and purses.
But these are really easy to make and they really don't look it either, I don't think, when they're done.
Well, they look professional. Do we have a finished one? Did you have the one that you...
Oh, I don't know where they've
Oh, no,
gone.
it's here. Is it here? Well, we've got some pictures, because you had those lovely ones this morning, didn't you?
Yes.
And they just look, that clasp gives it such a professional...
It does.
Look, overall finish.
And these are slightly different to the ones we've had in the past. These are sewing ones, so you can see the perforations along here.
Yeah.
So you attach the body, the fabric part of the purse, by sewing it to the frame, whereas in the past we've glued them. But this as well, often it's suggested to use invisible thread so you don't see the stitches, but I like to use embroidery thread.
I love the pink one. I want to see, I wonder if we can see... Oh, are they here? This is the one that I wanted to show you. Let's just see. Here it is. That's the purse there, but I was just going to show you. You can see this thread. Thank you. Here, this is what Jo was talking about. I love it with thread. I don't know why you would go for invisible thread when you can see... And let's just show that. Here it is. That pink just adds some extra detail, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it really sets it off.
With that pink inside. How easy is this to do?
Really easy. Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10. Let's go. 10 being the hardest.
It's a 1 or a 2.
Really?
Yeah, really simple.
Great. So it's a nice, easy, straightforward project, and you get something that looks good at the end of it. You don't have to feel like, oh, I was a bit ashamed of that one. It didn't turn out very well. It actually does look great. And you can see as well with that how that stitching works. I don't know if you can just see on this one. Why do you think they suggest using invisible thread? Just to blend it in? I suppose you can do it that way.
I don't know. I think possibly to just disguise it. And so I don't think it'd look as good in normal thread, but with embroidery thread, I used variegated on this one, so you got some extra details, some contrasting stitches in there. But I like to make a feature of it. If you're going to spend the time to sew it in.
Yeah, you might as well make something of it. So, sorry, yes, how do we start? How do we do this?
Right. The instructions that come with the kit, they're in, aren't they? It's about how to draft a pattern, because each of the frames are different, slightly different. So you will need to draft a pattern, your own pattern that's specific to the frame. Now with these, you get, in with the frame, you get this, which is, it shows the finished frame, that's the outline of the frame. I'll get my words out in a minute. There we go.
No, it's fine, don't worry.
Now,
so this comes in the pack with the with each one. So let's fold it up in there.
So that's in there, and then from there, you could leave this curve as the top of the purse, but then it would be very straight, and if you box the corners, it would narrow in. Whereas if you draft your own pattern, so you widen this curve, when it fits into the frame, the body curves out a bit as well, and you've got more body, more room inside the purse.
So rather than it narrowing down and becoming quite insignificant, quite small, you know,
it would narrow off. It would be wider at the top than at the bottom. Whereas this, it's got a nice. I mean, it stands up. You can really see it.
Nice shape
you've got some
to it.
depth to the purse.
I like that. So you've got the you take this out obviously out of the packet that's already got that on there, and then you're going to draft your own pattern from that.
I am, and the way it says to do it and you can do it this way. This way will work fine. In the instructions is to draw a central line and then 2 horizontal lines at 90 degrees to it that are 2 inches apart.
Okay.
And if you position your frame and you draw around your frame to have the outline. But with this, we've already got the outline, so I photocopied this sheet.
Oh, and just draw it straight on.
I've got one here. So I've marked a line, a vertical line straight through the centre, and then along the top, a horizontal line, and then 2 inches below, another line.
Okay.
And then from here, I've got a pencil. Let's grab this pencil. If it's not a curved frame.
Yeah, so one of the more boxy ones.
Yes,
like
a
this
boxy
sort of
frame.
a square, oh, let's turn it that way, a squarish sort of one. Yeah.
You do it slightly differently, but with a curve, I just make a wider curve, about that sort of, and just sketch it out, it's fine.
Just following that top, using that as a top guide, and then just,
yes, from this point, and you could use a plate or anything to get a true, you know, a more even curve if you wanted, but I've done that with that one. This is my pattern piece, let's see, it's very nearly the same, exactly the same. And then position your frame in place so it's centred and just pivot it round to find out where it would end on this line and just mark it slightly below the corner of the frame, the edge of the frame there, and then mark out about 1/4 of an inch beyond.
Okay. Why is that then? Why do we have to pivot that round to mark? That's just so we know it's going to sit within the curve of the frame itself.
Yes, I mean you could, if I was doing this top edge will definitely fit
Within
the frame.
body.
If you were doing a square one, I would measure along, make a mark and join up with the corner. It's all
in the instructions.
It's all in the instructions. It's one of those things that actually it's easy to do if you are. It's easy to understand if you're doing it. Yes.
That was straightforward though. We literally photocopied it. You draw on the 2-inch lines and then you extend the curve.
Just extend the
central
curve.
line and then extend the curve.
Just so we've got that room. So when it's fitted in there, we've got some extra fabric in the body of the purse, and so we can box the corners then and things like that.
Keeping it nice and big. Okay. Yeah. All of this is in here though, or this is all in your instructions that you get in the kit. So you've got step-by-step instructions in there in the snap it up. All of those step-by-step instructions there, just on the back. So it is talking you through all of those steps if you weren't sure on that. Okay.
So you could, this is the technique you'd use with the square frame, mark out the centre there, and you could just join that in a curve. You want roughly the width of the purse. You want a curve that roughly sort of comes round at about the distance, the width of the purse from the centre.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Placed it on, pivoted along to find out where it would end, and then added the 1/4-inch seam allowance. And then with the ruler, using this second mark that includes the seam allowance, and using this ruler so that it's parallel to the central line. Just going to mark down there. And this area will form our pattern piece.
Yeah.
As you can see, like that. And then, what distance have I gone for about? Have a look at, you can always do one of these in lining fabric first, make one and test it in the frame if you don't want to commit to some actual...
The actual pattern fabric.
Yes, in case you're worried about wasting some.
If these are in your baskets, please just make sure you check these out. They're really, really popular this morning. SXGC69. These are all brand new clasps as well. We've not seen these ones before. So this is the kit. We'll just show you that on your screen. So it's the instructions and those brand new 4 frames there. The brass one, the hearts one, and 2 silver ones in different sizes. I really like this brass one.
I do.
It's different, isn't it? So you're drawing around that.
So this is how I got the template. This is how I got this curve on the top. And so from here, so decide what depth you would like the purse to be. Have a think about boxing as well. So if you want the purse, think about the seam allowance here. You want it to be about maybe that deep from the top. You've got your clasp up here. And then remember to add some for your boxing at the bottom. So this then will get folded under.
So you need to have allowed for that bottom part here.
So think about the size of the purse, but then add extra depending on how deep you want the boxing to be at the bottom.
Okay.
So that's how I came up with the pattern, the template for this one. And I've cut out lining, throwing it about, lining fabric. And using the linen one for this one, I've not put any interfacing on the back.
Okay.
Because it's quite...
It's thicker fabric, isn't it?
Structured fabric. Yeah. Whereas this one, the lining, just to support the purse as well. Lining often you wouldn't need to interface it, but this is just to support the purse from the inside.
If it's bursting full of money, then it needs to be interfaced. Okay.
But if there is anything heavy in the purse, it won't push out. The interfacing will support the lining, so it won't push out and sort of distort the outside of the purse.
It's going to keep it in shape. Okay. So we did the lining, interface the lining.
So these are all ready to go, and then the longest bit time-wise is just drafting your pattern piece in the first place. But again, if you're unsure about going for it with the actual fabric first time around, just make. They're so quick to make, you can easily do, I mean, even just do one side.
And just check.
And just check that it fits and it's going to give you the shape that you'd like.
Okay.
And then once you've got a basic template, then you could have it curved all the way out if you wanted to give the sides more shape.
You could extend that all the way down to a glasses case, sunglasses case, couldn't you? If that extended, you know, down to there, pop your glasses in there, lovely.
But this very much is just to give the basic shape, and then once you've got that, you can do anything with it. Angle the sides, yes, make it longer, make it shorter.
Before we move on, we have half the stock has gone on these already, so please, if you do want it, make sure you do check out your baskets or give the call centre a ring, 0800 112 4433. Just don't want you to miss out. So we've got some other frames as well this morning. We've got these 4 in the kit that Joe's looking at. So once you've done your pattern piece and we've cut these out, then we're going to start assembling. I'm just going to show those other handles, and then we'll come back and do those. So these are all new ones, so we've got to show you what's there. I'll be back in a second. So there are also 3 other different handle options that you can use for slightly bigger bags. So this one here is a really nice playful one. It's got some red detailing on the top of this clasp, and this is on a gold what's the word I'm looking for? Fastening. So that again is just a snap fastening there. You can just see that inside clicking together. So if you just wanted one on its own, or you wanted to add an extra one to that bundle this morning, that's your 12.5 by 5.5 centimetre gold clasp with your red detail there, OMPH03, and that's £4.95. Your next option, these are slightly bigger, so if you're going for perhaps like a clutch bag or a little evening bag to take out with you, this one's got this has got a handle on it. So it's a nice square frame, so perfect for those sort of evening style bags, but also with a nice little handle so you can also hold that as well. There's some nice detailing on this frame itself. It's got some sort of markings on it. How big was this one? 17.6 by 6.5 centimetres. So again, that one there, I don't know if I can open this through the packet, but just, you've got that clasp there, that nice snap, and then you can attach that to the top. BTPH83. And then our last new one, this is an even bigger one if you're going for a big bag. We've actually got an example one made there that Joe can show you. And this has got a wooden handle on it, so nice, a nice little strong handle. And then again with that gold detailing and on the clasp itself. HNPH94. And that's £15.95 for that one. That's the old brass coloured bag fastening. So 3 different options. Perhaps if you want to add those to the purse bundle, or if you just want to have a go with one and try it first, then that's a good way to sort of test the theory, test the method. Then those are good ways to do that. But let's go back to Joe. This was actually the one, you've made this one with that wooden handle one, haven't you? Let's just show. Oh, you've got that bundle there on the screens. But this was the handle that we just showed with that clasp on the top. Is it easy to do it bigger? Does it really make any difference?
It doesn't. In some ways it's easier. Because it's always easier when you're working with a bigger item, and you've got more room. When you're joining the lining to the front, the exterior around the top, it's easier when it's larger. What is more difficult is keeping it in place in the frame as you're sewing it on. With the little ones, which I'll come to in a little bit, you can just pop pins through and it holds it in place, and they don't come out of position. Whereas that one, it's more difficult.
I guess this is going to start wanting to come out as you're doing. You've got to keep it, like tease it into place. Okay, so where did we get to? We've cut out the lining and interfaced it.
Okay, and now for this one I just kept playing because I thought there was so much detail in this fabric anyway, and I just wanted to have some of the sort of blossom in the centre of the purse. But for this one, I went for an applique star.
Oh, that's nice.
In the centre, and it's just
with that fabric too. That's really lovely.
Well, it sort of combines the lining and the exterior, sort of brings them together a bit more.
You can see that there. Just tying it through sort of gives it more of a theme, doesn't it?
And to get this star shape, I actually just used a cookie cutter.
Did you?
Downstairs. I have pastry stars this shape on top of my mince pies at Christmas. But you can use any sort of simple shape.
Multitasking, that's good.
And it's bond web on the back to fuse it on, and then I've just done a machine blanket stitch around the edge.
Cool, nice. Okay, so it's nice and straightforward.
But you can leave them simple
If you want,
or
yeah, I
embellish
guess it
them.
depends on the fabric, doesn't it? Really, if you want to add embellishments or add things to it, that's up to you, isn't it? Really, but the blossom fabric is enough on its own, really.
It is, I think. I mean, in the past, I've done pin tucks across the centre, bows, all sorts.
Like the bow on this bag, actually, you can add different details.
You can. And that one's really easy to add, actually. I'll show that later if there's time. And then, once you've got to this point, you're happy with the lining and the exterior. Just trimmed off some of the interfacing then. Place them together, right sides together. And so, for the exterior, you want to sew from the side all the way around the bottom and finish at that side. For the lining, you want to leave an opening in the bottom because this is where we'll turn it through.
Okay.
At the end.
Do you sew around the top of the lining?
No, not at this point.
So you're just going to do here, 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 and here.
That's right. Leave the top edge open because then we'll join them together along the top edge. So I'll do this one first. This is the one. I'll pop some pins in it. I'll try and be a bit more organised. And...
Did you see that magnetic pin cushion?
I love that.
It's clever, isn't it?
It's really clever. In fact, I dropped a needle into the bin the other day and I couldn't quite pick it up, so I used that and it just
go jump.
Yep. Grabbed it straight away. And because these are small, I've used, and the pattern drafting is done so that it's 1/4 of an inch seam allowance.
Okay.
You can always adjust that. Find the pedal. That's cool.
This would be a good project to do with the children during the summer holidays, wouldn't it?
It would. I started a summer holiday project with my son. And I left him alone for minutes. And I came back upstairs and he'd broken my sewing machine.
You're joking? What happened?
The foot...
How old is he again?
He's 10.
10?
The foot had come off, so he just... well, if it's come off, I'll just jam it back on. And he did manage to break my sewing machine. Which, when I had some work to do this week, but it was a little...
It was obviously fixable.
I had to order a new part.
Did you really? He properly broke it. It wasn't
He
just
did. He was... I hope he's not watching. He was devastated.
Oh. What were you making?
We're making a little purse.
Are you?
So, but it's obviously stalled at the moment.
Yes.
So I've stitched around that one. I'll do this one and then I'll box the corners.
Okay. Does he enjoy it?
He loves it.
Does he?
They both my sons do, actually. It's the excitement of a machine. Like it's a real machine.
It's a gadget, isn't it? Yeah, and it does something, actually.
But that's the thing with sewing. It's the process itself is really rewarding, I think, and enjoyable. But at the end, you've got something
to
as well.
use that's usable. It's not,
So I must remember this time I'm leaving the opening in the centre.
At the bottom.
At the bottom. Go too far. Put the needle down there. But you don't want to leave the whole bottom open because you need to box the corners. So I do still need to go around the corner and stitch part of the bottom together, if that makes sense.
Okay. So otherwise you wouldn't be able to attach your corners. Oh, we've had a picture in from Diana. Morning, Diana. She's done some purses from last time. Let's have a look. Oh, they look fab.
They look brilliant.
The bows are great, aren't they?
They are.
Oh, that's really cool. They're lovely. I like those a lot. I remember using that fabric for last time you did the purses. Thank you for sending that in. That's lovely.
Great. It's so nice to see.
Isn't it so lovely to see people, you're actually doing what we're doing. It's like, it's real.
So there we go. I've left
a little hole at the bottom.
An opening in the bottom. And then we're going to reposition the corners. So I'll open up the seams and reposition them so that the side seam lines up with the seam along the bottom. Like that. And I'll check inside that they do line up, and they do. I'll pop a pin.
So this is boxing the corners.
This is boxing the corners, and it just gives it a little base.
Like this. So you're getting that shape.
They're still in alignment.
Which you do really need for a purse because you quite often have quite a lot, you know, you can have a lot in there, can't you really?
You can.
You need a bit more space, a bit more depth to it.
I like, in my handbag, I like a party purse.
A party purse?
A party purse that will fit some change in, a bank card and a lipstick.
Yes, the essentials.
The essentials.
Just the essentials. That, I would have all of those things, and then the only other not remotely interesting thing is a spare contact lens. That's what I'd have in there as well, just in case. I don't think you can ever have too many little, like, little storage things. I have like nice little makeup bags and toiletry bags and purses. I'm just bag mad.
Right, I'll go for, should I do about 3/4 of an inch. So now I'm measuring from this point here, let me move that out of the way, from the end of the seam up 3/4 of an inch, and it's a quilting ruler like this is brilliant because you can line up with the central seam, so you're definitely.
Oh yeah.
So I've lined that along the seam, and that's at 3/4 of an inch. I'll just draw across there, and then sew across there to box the corner.
So now you're sewing across that line?
I am.
Like perpendicular to the...
Just ease the pin out of the way. Oh, I always press the knot button instead of it. That's in the same position as the reverse button on my machine. So I have
just so naturally, instinctively. It's like driving a new car, isn't it? You just naturally go to...
So I've done a knot halfway through that seam, but we're okay. And I'll just check that they line up. So the seam follows.
Shall I just show that? Is that okay?
I'm not sure whether will it show on that dark fabric, hopefully.
Maybe. Yeah,
there
you
we
can just
go.
see that there, that seam lining up all the way around. But you can see that shape straight away, giving you that 3D sort of base, doesn't it?
It does. So I'll trim away the excess, and then I would recommend just doing a little zigzag stitch along there. Just
Why
to
is that?
secure.
Just to secure it?
Because we've cut through that seam as well, it will just definitely help to seal those in place and not come undone. So we need to box the corners. It's the same for the lining as for the exterior.
Okay. So you open the seam and you push it.
Up. But I was trying to think before, which do I prefer, sewing purse frames or gluing? And I can't make my mind up. Gluing them in is faster, but then you do have to be careful you don't get glue everywhere.
Yeah.
But the sewing...
It's a bit more messy, maybe.
It is.
A bit quicker.
But then I really like the detail, especially being able to add a colour, a strong colour that maybe picks out some of the colours in the fabric. I think that works really nicely for that one.
It does really work really well here on that blossom one. I don't know if you can see this one here, if I just show you. But that's just what Joe was talking about. When you're stitching it in, it's another opportunity to just add decoration, isn't it? Or to add an embellishment. And you could use metallic thread, you could use anything you wanted. This is that variegated thread as well before. So this all comes in your bundle. You get 4 different frames. You've got that brass one there that we're working with at the moment, the hearts one, a silver one for a coin purse, and also a slightly larger, more boxy frame as well, with those snap to it instructions. Over half that stock has gone now. $19.95 for that one. And if you're after extra handles to add to those, we've also got 3 different options. So the first one is this lovely, it's got some red detail on this, on the clasp itself, on a gold frame. Again, to be stitched in. You can just open that there. You just attach that to any fabric you like. That nice, satisfying click. It is satisfying, isn't it? I love that clip. Ta-da! So, and that was OMP. OMPH03 is your item number for that one, OMP. And then you've got 2 other options. This is your more boxy one with a nice metal handle as well. So more of a nice little, maybe dressy evening bag you would use that one for. Again on gold, and you've got that detail there on the frame itself. And that is £9.50, BTPH83. And the last one, if you want to add an extra one to create this bag that Joe's done here with the wooden handle, again with the thread, I'll just show you that on the actual bag. That was like that bow one that Diana just sent in on her purses. Now you've done it on a purse, try it on a bag. You can just see there that this one's $15.95. The handle comes like this. HNPH94 for that one. Lovely. So you're just repeating again on the corners. We're doing that boxing.
And they're all boxed to the same...
3/4 of an inch, was
depth.
it? Yeah.
Yes. I'll move that pin because it's going to get in the way.
Yeah, so over half the stock has gone now on those purse bundles.
Okay, so I've trimmed the excess off there. And I would, shall I zigzag them? Shall I?
Yeah,
try
we've
and
got half an
remember?
hour, well, 25 minutes.
Hopefully this will be the right size zigzag. It's
Not,
not.
please be a zigzag.
It's not my machine, so oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, have some faith in yourself.
I think as you do get very used to your own machine
I'm
and
sure.
the settings. There we go.
Do you sew a lot at home? Is that a silly question?
I do sew a lot.
Is it all? Do you always sew with a project in mind for work, or do you get time to sew for pleasure, just to do a project for yourself, or not so much anymore?
Not so much anymore, but I still have the list of things I would like to make for me. Or
Yeah. What's on that list?
I have, I'm going to make a present for a friend this weekend because I've got some personal sewing time. Doesn't sound right, does it?
No, I know what you mean. Time to sew for you.
Yes.
Me time, me sewing time.
But I have quilts. I have a quilt on the go, which I've had on the go for about 2 years.
Really?
There are a lot. In my defence, there are a lot of pieces in it. It was always going to be a long-term project. So we've got both
Boxed.
boxed off, and I'm going to put it back on straight stitch before I forget.
To show you that one there. Does give it that shape, doesn't it? So we've got 2 of those.
2 of those. I'm going to turn the exterior the right way out. We've got that little star on the front.
It's straightforward, isn't it? It is nice.
It is.
Yeah.
And then we want the right sides together, so I'm going to pop this
Oh, okay.
inside that
I
one.
thought you were going to do that the other way around. I thought you were going to put the interface into the...
Maybe I should.
light
Maybe
blue.
it would make more
No,
sense the other
I'm
way
sure
round.
it doesn't.
I always tend to put the exterior inside the lining, but...
So we've gone right sides together, and then we can turn it out.
And then I'm going to open these seams at the side and make sure they line up. Pop a pin in. And then they need to be stitched together around the top.
So do you stitch together around the top before you apply the frame?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if the frame came off, it's all sealed. There are no raw edges on
No.
show.
So you're not going to get money in between the 2 bits of fabric. You know what I mean? It's
No.
all sealed. It's all...
It's only if the lining gives way and some falls through. There we go. And then I like to sew a side at a time. I find it easier to do one side, finish, and then do the other side, rather than go round in one go and pivot here. Because if you just leave a stitch with the 2 either side as well, you get a bit more flexibility.
So when you are putting it in that frame, it's got some more
There's a bit of give
freedom
to it.
yeah.
I'll just pop another pin in there. And I'll sew this together, and that's
Pretty much.
pretty much it. Well, apart from then sewing the frame on.
Let's just look at those instructions then. So let's open these. Here they are. So you get all of your instructions in here. It's a step-by-step guide of how to do the purses. So sort of talking you through all of the steps. You can just see that here. And this is everything that Jo was talking about earlier at the beginning of the show about drafting the pattern. I don't know if you can see here. I don't know if we're able to look a little bit closer, but you can just see about sort of drawing out that curve. It's the 2-inch lines, wasn't it? 2 inches apart, and then creating the pattern to draft it there for the frame.
The 2-inch lines are more for if you've got a square or a rectangular frame. It's to give you need the bottom line to work from. But I also find it handy having it there for the curve as well, because you want the curve to extend about the frame's width along that bottom line.
So it helps you to gauge, doesn't it?
It just gives you an idea of whether you've got the right sort of curve
That makes sense.
For the frame. I don't feel like I explained it particularly well before.
No, and absolutely, and it is all in these instructions anyway, which are in the kit. So in your kit, you're not only getting your 4 frames, but you do get all of these instructions as well. So that is all there. And also with the frames themselves, you get the, what would you call that, like the pattern of the purse frame? The copy of what the frame looks like, so you can draw straight onto it. So you get one of these as well. This is what comes in there. So then Jo just photocopied this and used this from the frame to draw out her curve and then to figure out where that was going to sit. SXGC69, that's for your 4 frames and all of your instructions and your pattern draft there.
And because it's curved, I'm just going to remove a little bit of the bulk from the seam allowance by just snipping V-shaped notches.
Okay.
Around the top, like that.
We just see that. That's it there. Lovely. So you sewed all the way around one side of the top and then you did the other. And as you said, you left a stitch either side, like a couple of stitches, just so it gives it some, you can manoeuvre it a bit more.
I have to say, don't come in too close because I didn't do a very good job sewing this side. There's a slightly skinny seam allowance just there, but we'll pretend that didn't happen.
No, it's fine.
There we go. And then ease it the right way out.
What colour is your the purse that your little boy's making?
It's blue. Everything's blue.
Everything's blue. So once the machine's fixed, then you can get back to finishing the purse.
We can. He said to me, "Oh, I thought you'd be upset that the foot came off." I said, "No, they clip on and off. That's fine."
It's not that bit, it's the pedal. So this fabric that Jo's using at the moment, there are 6 different fabric bundles for these purse options this morning. This is a blue one, so you've got that lovely soft blue canvas fabric on the outside, and then that cross-hatched linear texture fabric, linear look fabric in your teal that we've used for the lining there. I think that fabric will be coming up any second now. That one is called turquoise. This isn't turquoise, that's not turquoise, that's the wrong one. Let's just get the right one up. I don't want you to get confused. It's that one. It's coming. It's this one. That's the one. That's what we've been working with this purse that Jo's doing at the moment. And your item number for that, MJGC05. That's the duck egg canvas bundle. How many purses would you get out of a metre of fabric?
Oh, it would depend on the size of the purse, but
yes,
a lot.
Yes. But you could do all 4 frames.
You could easily.
This is the bit. Okay, so
this is the bit, and now we want to feed. You want the hinge, the circular hinge, to fall in the centre of the seam there. And then this is the bit that I find easiest with the small ones. I'll say this now, and I won't be able to do it. We're like large round head pins, so they won't go straight through. I find just pinning it in place and trying to get it even and lined up like that is the easiest way.
You just have to be careful of those pins on the other side, I guess, don't you? That you remember that they're there.
You do. So I'll feed it in at both ends. And then...
So do you do one side?
I do one side.
I remember before you said with the glue about using those coffee stick, those stirrer sticks that you get. It's quite good for just easing the fabric into that channel of the metal frame.
Ease that in. And this one's not quite, a little bit longer, so I can just take the pins out and readjust and just make sure before I do anything else.
Straight away it makes it look more professional, just having that metal frame there, doesn't it? As opposed to it just being a button or a...
And I mean, this looks fiddly now, what I'm doing, but it's not really, it's not zip fiddly.
No.
Although there are easier ways to do zips as well. I feel I'm giving zips a
hard time.
Make sure that's in. But you can baste this in first. I know some would baste around to hold it in position, and you could still do that, but I would still use the pins first just to make sure it's lined up.
In the right sort of place. Please do check out your baskets on this. You will need to buy this one now if you do want it. SXGC is 69. That's 19.95. Remember, you can check out as many times as you want. So if you did want to add something later, you can. But just so you don't miss out on these, if it's something that you've got your eye on, please do give us a ring or check out your baskets on the website ASAP. ASAP. So we've pinned all the way around. I'm just going to show that, if that's okay. That looks quite pretty, actually, with the pinheads. But you can just see Joe's popped that through there. Just, obviously, not going to put your hand the other side, but just easing that fabric into the channel of the frame itself. Okay.
And you could, I'll show now, just basting it on before adding the decorative stitches.
Yeah. Which, again, I suppose you don't have to do if you don't want to. You could just...
You could glue them, but the glue would ooze through the perforations in the
holes.
Frame. So I would recommend, if it is a sewing frame, to sew it in. There we go. Just make sure that's in place, and you can. It's come out. It is a bit fiddly. I'm not going to lie.
I really like that brass frame. That one and the hearts I really like. I think this one looks really pretty. Just look at that one. I like a little girl's purse as well. I just think that would be really cute. I've not seen that blossom fabric before. I've never ever seen that on the show. I think that's really pretty. It's girly,
really
isn't it?
Nice. It's got a lovely feel to it.
Yeah, it does. It's almost a bit silky.
It is.
I think a dress in that fabric would be lovely. That blossom fabric. So you're just...
So you could then...
sort of tacking that into...
Just to hold it in place. If you didn't want to work with the pins, if you were worried about catching your hands on them, I just did the decorative stitches with the
straight
pins,
away, you just
holding
went straight
it in place. But you could do that and hold the frame in place and then stitch.
Oh, I'm being told that this blossom fabric is actually John Louden, and that's a premiere that had never been on the show.
Ooh.
So no wonder we hadn't seen it. It was brand new. That's the fabric you can see there. It's that really lovely blossom. It's on a white background, but we've also got it on a grey. Really, it is a really soft, girly, nice, just a nice fresh blossom. I love blossom. That's my favourite thing about spring.
I love blossom.
It's just so pretty. Here's the bundle. So it comes with a solid, and also you've got that blossom print there from John Louden, which you can use for the lining of the purse, or vice versa. You can mix and match them. So that's the blue cherry blossom bag fabric bundle. You get 1/2 metre of each of those fabrics, £9.45. That's actually the most popular of all the bundles at the moment. GCGC04.
Trying to get an embroidery needle out. I can never get them out.
Do you want me to try? I stuck
There
it.
we go,
Yeah.
got one. And then when I stitched them in, I stitched every other stitch
Oh, okay.
along and then went back and filled in the other ones.
Why was that? Just to make sure that it's in place, or?
Yes, if it had slipped or I wasn't happy with the positioning, it's easier to take out one row of stitches
Makes sense.
than... I'm not doing very well here.
It's all good.
There we go. I'll try the other end.
It's a bit fiddly, isn't it? It's because it's a small needle.
I should have gone for one of the wider ones in the...
I don't know if there even was one, was there?
The ones in the centre look a bit bigger.
It's so hard to pull them out.
There we go, I've
Done it.
I've done it. Should really have pre-threaded my needle.
No, it's fine. That's what we're here for.
So pop little knots in this end.
So did you use the whole thread? Yeah, you've not split that thread, have you?
I've not. I used the full thickness. I mean, you could split it down and make it...
3, is that 6? So maybe
This is
just split it
6.
to 3.
Or you could double it over.
Was this 6? Because I think that
That's
looks
6.
really lovely. So 6 is fine.
So I'll go in at that one. And then I've knotted one end and gone through so the knot's on the front, but actually if you pull it, it will disappear into that hole.
So obviously you're going to stitch around both sides of the frame. You don't have to do anything to attach this hinge at the side. It just,
you don't?
No.
Once you've stitched them on, that's it. It's done.
So look here, there isn't anything that you have to attach. I don't know if you can see this one on the blossom purse that Joe's done. But you're going to go all the way around the edge, both sides. And then this part you don't have to worry about sort of sewing into place. That's just it sits in there, doesn't it? Stays in place.
The hand cream and...
That's what I said earlier, didn't I? I always am like, put the hand cream on and then you can't do anything.
There we go. Pop that back in the channel.
So you're just doing a straight stitch all the way around?
Just a really simple straight stitch. Every other one, and then you can finish off. There we go. I'll try and speed up a bit here.
No, don't worry, it's fine.
So just every other one all the way round.
Okay.
Try and slow that down a bit. I have got slightly longer thread as well.
The brass looks nice with the blue actually, that sort of bronzy colour.
It does.
Matches the scissors.
It's always good to have everything coordinated.
So if you've made these purses before, like Diana sent in that picture, but you can also you can add detail like Joe's done here with this sort of like you could put your name on it, you could embroider it, you could applique something on it, you could fussy cut something from fabric, couldn't you? Put it on like you've appliqued that star on, or adding this bow detail as well, which looks really lovely and which Joe assures me is very straightforward.
Shall I? I have the pieces to do it. How are we for time?
We've got about 8 or so minutes.
There we go. So. I don't know if it shows. I'm just stitching every other one. See, every time I tilt it away from me, I can't see it. There we go.
Can we just tip that a second? Is that okay? Do you mind? I'll just show you there. You can just see here where Joe's stitching every other one in that frame.
Okay. And that's it then. And this is
all the way around. You just follow that all the way around.
And this is very much another in front of a film job, I think.
So when you get to the end, what do you, at the end of that side of the frame, do you just tie it off or?
Once I got to if the thread was long enough, once I got to that point, I'd just go back and I'd finish it on the same end I started.
Okay, yeah.
With something like this, you'd have to do at least 2 threads to go back. You'd have to do one side and then
go back on yourself.
You would. Right, so I'll finish that one there, but it gives the idea, and that's. Should I pin that one into the front? See, that little star falls quite nicely in the
centre of the clasp. That one would be in there like that. And then at the back, this is where Joe started stitching it. You can just see there. You stitch that all the way along, and then you said you just go back on yourself and tie it back up at the other end.
Yes, just so there are no gaps in between. It's a solid line of thread.
All the way over. What happens on the inside? Is that just hidden? Yeah, you can't even see. So that's just threaded all the way across, all the way over to the other side. Done. So you get 4 of those clasps in that bundle. You get the heart one, that brass one, and 2 others as well. And you also got all of your instructions with that too that are written by Joe. So you can see those different clasps, and you also get that pattern guide as well in with each of the different metal clasps. SXGC69 is your item number for that one, and it's £19.95. Okay, so did you want to look at this just while we've got a little bit of time? Because would that just be, we would just carry on with
that? Would just be carrying on sewing that, and it's not the most fascinating thing to watch.
Let's see how we did that.
So I'll move that out of the way.
Okay, I'll move this over. I think you would, if you just continue it, don't you? So there's nothing,
you do.
We're not missing anything.
It's really straightforward, just going through. Because I was tilting it forward then, I was struggling to see. But the very last job is to just close the opening in the bottom of the lining.
Oh, yes.
And remember to do that, otherwise you will lose
so
your
you
change
do all the
in between
clasps,
the two.
Yeah, and then pull it out and hand sew the lining together, and then you're done.
And then that's it. That's
lovely,
all
lovely.
it is.
That's great. I can see why that's a beginner project. It's doable, isn't it? It's not.
It is.
It's nothing too scary. So, what were you going to show us how to do the bow? Is that what you were going to?
I will. I've cut out I drafted this pattern piece in exactly the same way, and I used the outline I drew around the purse frame. So the pattern template, it dips in the centre, so I have echoed that dip.
Oh, yeah.
I've done exactly in the way it describes in the instructions. If you can see, I've traced around. This would be where the purse frame outline would be, and I've extended this line again so that we get, when it's bent in, we get some more body in the bag.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And get more into it. But this, I've just done half of this one.
Oh, then did you fold it in half and do...
And then folded the fabric in half and cut it out like this, just because it's a larger piece, pattern piece. Now for the bow, this is really, really simple.
Is it?
Really simple. It's just this one strip of fabric. Let's see how wide the bag is. So this 14 inches. So I added 2 inches either side. So cut an 18-inch strip. So it's 2 inches wider at either end.
Okay.
Than the frame.
So you can create this knot in the middle.
Yes, just so there's some give in it. And if it's, you want it to be slightly longer than slightly shorter, because you can always trim down. And all I did was sew along one side.
So almost creating like a tubing.
It is, it's a simple tube, and then you just tie a knot in it, really.
Is that literally it?
That's it.
It looks so much more effective than that you expect it to be.
And you could have a wider one if you wanted more fabric on the front. This one is 5.5. The piece of fabric I cut out was 18 inches by 5.5 inches.
Oh, could you do two, one from either side, and then do a bow?
You could tie them in the centre.
Yeah, in the middle.
That would
so you could
nice.
have two pieces, and then you could, rather than that knot in the middle, you could create, particularly on the bigger bag, then you could have a bow, and then with it hanging down.
But that's what I like about these purses, because you've got a basic pattern, and then you can put anything.
Jazz it up however you like.
Absolutely. I'll turn this
You can go
out.
for sequins, you can go for beads, you can go for...
Patchwork it,
Yes.
would look great. Applique some hexes on with VPP.
Yeah. Lucy Brennan.
Shall I try and do the flourish?
Go.
It didn't work. There we go.
When are you
So
back, Jo?
Oh, I'm not back for a while.
Are you not?
No.
You're on holiday, summer holidays?
Well, not quite off. Off on day trips.
Day trips?
For a week, I think.
Where are you going anywhere exciting? Taking the boys?
It's to be decided. I don't get any say, really.
You don't get any say?
No.
You just get told?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go here?
So I've opened that out, and I've positioned the seam roughly in the centre because we don't want it showing. And then it is just a case of tying a knot in it, making sure that both front pieces don't have the seam in. And I did just tie a knot like that, and then baste it. That was so easy. It is. It's really, really simple.
And it looks so effective. It adds something, much more interesting. And also it adds a different sort of dimension, doesn't it, to it? Because it's giving it a bit more, it jumps off a bit more.
It does. So basically I did about 2 inches from the edge. You want to think about your boxing because you don't want it to get caught in the box corners if you're doing that.
Okay.
If it's longer, just baste it in place and trim off the excess, but that's it.
That measurements-wise was spot on.
It did.
So this was 4 inches,
well.
the knot.
Yes, that's what it takes up. And then just stitch it in so that it doesn't bag.
Yes.
Out.
So you don't want it to be like coming away from the...
Just a couple of stitches here and there just to hold it to the bag front. Or, I'll confess, I used some fabric glue.
Did you?
I glued that
Just
in place.
Stick it on.
I did.
And then from there you just do the exact same. You do that boxing on the bottom, then you turn it, put them in right sides together, turn it out, put it in the frame, sew it through.
That's
easy.
It is. They're really easy to do, and you get a really great finish. I think.
Really effective results. Which one would you want to use for your? What did you call it? Party purse?
Oh, I would definitely use the cherry blossom
The pink one.
Yes.
That's really cute, isn't it? Oh, thank you so much, Jo. That was really
thank
lovely.
you.
So we've nearly sold out on those bag frames this morning. If you do like them for your purses, for your glasses, cases, for your bags, please do check those out in your baskets. Congratulations to everyone that's got them. Please send us pictures when you've made them, like Diana did this morning. SXGC69 is your item number for that, and it's 19.95. Oh, well, thank you very much, Jo. I'm going to
thank
just
you.
recap those fabrics, but I'll see you outside in a minute. Cup of tea. Okay, so over here we've just got some different fabric options for those bag purse and bag and purse fastenings. So depending on which one you like, you can obviously add these fabric bundles to your basket to customise them. Now, the ones that I particularly love, are these lovely cherry blossom fabrics in either the white or the grey. So let's look at the white first of all. It's a really clean, fresh colour fabric with your pinks. You've got magentas, a candy floss pink there, and also then obviously the detail in the tree of the blossom and the blossom itself. That's on a white background, and that's been teamed with a really soft pink there too, so perfect for the lining. VHGC 92. You get half a metre of this, half a metre of this, so you get a metre in total, and that's £9.45. There's also a different colourway for that, which was the purse that you've just seen that Jo had made. So this is the cherry blossom again, but in a different colour option. This is on more of a soft grey background, and this fabric is so gorgeous. It's almost got a silky touch to it. It's incredibly soft. I don't know if you can see there, it's almost got a sheen, a bit of a sheen to it. So this is called Blue Cherry. It's actually a very soft grey. This is again John Lowden. GCGC04, and that comes with a nice bold magenta pink there for your lining. Again, a metre of fabric there in total. So you could make all 4 purses out of that, obviously depending on what size you go for, but you'd have plenty of fabric for those. We also had what Jo just made with the applique star on the front of that purse. So that was using the duck egg bundle. So you have that crosshatch sort of linear look fabric in a teal, and then you have a duck egg blue canvas, which is slightly thicker. So you've got a bit more durability in that, which is nice for a purse, you know, if you've got a lot in there, lots of bits and pieces. If it's going to be thrown in the bottom of your bag. Slightly more affordable for this bundle. MJGC05, that's $8.45. Then you've also got that in another colourway. This is your turquoise, so you've got a turquoise canvas, and then you've got a really lovely sort of glacier grey crosshatch linear texture fabric there teamed with that. QJGC23. Then you've got 2 butterfly options. You've got this lovely bright lime green with pink and coral butterflies, and then you've got a coral solid that's been teamed with that for your lining. Or you can, you could reverse those and have them the other way round. So that's that one. And finally, you can see peeping in the bottom of your screens there is a purple option. You've got your lilac solid, and then you've got a really deep violet fabric there with pinks, oranges, and purples in your butterflies. GNGC56. And that's $10.95. Now, tomorrow, I'm back in tomorrow morning. Let's have a look at what's coming up on tomorrow's show. So, we've got the Lissaline Showcase at 8 a.m. That's with Amanda Wyatt. So that's the first time I've met Amanda. That will be great in the morning. Looking forward to meeting her. Then at 9 o'clock, we've got stash building bundles. So you can guess what that is. Lots of bundles for your stash. At 10 o'clock is a dressmaking hour, again with Amanda Wyatt. And at 11 a.m. is Taylor's Tool Time, so lots of different tools to make your life a little bit easier in your workroom. Again, that's back with me. So please do remember to check out your baskets this morning. We've had lots of really popular items. Massive thank you to Jo Carter, who brought in the turtles, Myrtle the turtle, or Shelley the turtle, as we had, at 9 o'clock this morning. If you managed to get those, congratulations. And our purses, they're nearly sold out. If you want those, check out your baskets so you don't miss out. So I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow. I hope you have a lovely afternoon. We're back in the morning at 8 o'clock, myself and Amanda Wyatt. We've got that dressmaking and lots of other exciting things coming up in the morning. I look forward to seeing you then. Have a lovely day. Enjoy. Bye.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com.